Okay. We are going to get started. And before we get started, I need everybody to get your dice out because we're gonna roll for who does recap next session.
Oh, I'm exempt from that.
Brian is the only one exempt from this roll, so I will need everybody to make a roll.
I'll try to do my best to recap what happened last session.
That's a 14.
Put it in the group rolls so I don't die. Trying to keep track. There's one.
Can't find it.
2. Oh dear. Alright. As soon as Dylan puts a roll in. Well, there you go. That answered that question. Okay, it looks like Anna, you're gonna be the one doing recap next session.
Oh boy.
So, you now know, so whatever kind of notes you want to make, you have been advised. Now, we are going to do a recap for this session. The last unofficial recap between all of you guys, so however you guys want to do this, it's all you.
So what I remember is we arrived in Kansas City, went to the latest bank that got robbed, found out it's possibly related to some gang activity that has been going on in the area.
You didn't go to the bank.
Oh, we didn't go to the bank.
You guys have been in another place this whole time. Y'all remember where?
A hotel. That Pridwin saw 2 other people looking out of that, if I remember right, turned out to be police officers.
A fancy Schwindig, like upper suite kind of apartment, and owned by one of the other DWMA members.
Correct.
If I'm remembering correctly.
Yes, an East Coast brancher allowed you use of their apartment. Oh, no way, Chrome just froze on me? Hello? Wild?
Crazy.
Okay, well, while I get Google Chrome sorted out. Is there anything else you guys need to cover in the recap? I know we didn't do a whole lot last session.
We got into an aggravated word tussle with a police officer.
Tussle is a good word for it, I would say. There we go. Jesus.
But I'm also not entirely convinced they were police officers.
I mean, that's fair. Okay, so with that introduction, we're going to go ahead and get started. You guys are all in the schwanky apartment, as it has been described. And you guys have had a couple hours, roughly, to figure out what you guys want to do next. So we're going to start here. I won't make you roll to go in order. You guys are all chilling somewhere in the apartment, and the day is yours to get started on.
I'm back.
So,
Welcome back.
so what's the plan for finding out the bank robberies and that whole situation?
All we-
The vote was go to the bank.
Yeah, so if I can propose a kind of scheme, so I'm thinking we get like a map of all the locations.
Mhm.
That way we can kind of get an idea of the range of look for patterns and stuff, see if there's like a specific region that they prioritize.
Yeah, and if it's a widespread area, then that would be a lot trickier to track down. But if it's a small area, then it'd be simpler, I would assume.
And if we
Yeah.
could identify what exactly they're trying to get beyond just more money, see if we can't lay out a trap or bait.
Yeah. And additionally, so I'm thinking we get our hands on the map. That should be easy. We're basically just going to compile all the locations. We'd be able to do that before we even head out of the hotel. Then we're going to want to talk to the police guy. Because we're going to need to get permission to go onto the scene of the crime and look around. And that also means we can ask him to get us in contact with witnesses.
From the sounds of it, there wouldn't be that many.
Not many, but it doesn't sound like they wipe out everybody, just that they brutalize a lot of people. They seem very unconcerned with collateral damage.
I suggest we also make a plan B, as our last encounter with the police officer didn't go over well, so I doubt he'd be willing to help us.
True.
As far
if
as
they
access.
if they do refuse to get us permission, we may just have to sneak on to the scenes. The thing is, too, it's
I'm all for
possible for
sneaking, but
the.
should we be sneaking around a police investigation?
Oh no, we shouldn't. But also, we don't really have a choice.
Well,
Who's going to stop
Okay.
us anyway?
I
We
mean,
could also
we could
start
always
stop.
fall back on.
We could
Guns
start
would
with the
still
oldest
hurt.
heist. We could start
Yeah,
with the
that's-
oldest heisted places,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
guarantee you that
Yeah.
if we talk to some of the employees, probably assuming that it's like no longer cordoned off, we could
Yeah,
talk to
so-
the employees, and I have a feeling they'd be willing to like divulge some information.
So
They
that's
might
the
be
trade-off.
tired at that point.
The
Can you guys hear me?
We can, yeah.
Can't
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
Yes.
Now,
so hypothetically, if we were to be told no, we would still be able to go to the earliest, depending on what the time scale is, because the police have probably already cleaned that up and allowed public access. The thing
Plan
is,
C.
since they've already cleaned it up, there's probably not going to be a lot of physical evidence laying around. And we have no idea if we can actually find like somebody who's a first-hand witness, or if it's only going to be people who only know about what happened secondhand. So I think
should some of us go to one of the more recent ones, like not the most recent, but maybe second or third?
so ideally we still want to try and we want to do this legally, obviously. So we get into contact with the detective and try and get him to give us permission. Obviously, if that doesn't work, then we're going to just have to do things our way. But if it does work, then we can get access to the most recent crime scenes and also first-hand witnesses. So that would be the best outcome.
It wouldn't hurt us to probably go by the station and talk to actual authority figures instead of just going straight to the cop that came at us immediately without any information, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if we talk to him, he can probably put us into contact with the decision makers.
Because he is doing his own investigation. He's not really a part of that investigation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As he
And who knows if he
established.
can be able to give us access to the crime scenes. Crimes?
Now, I noticed someone mentioned a sort of plan C where we investigate his whole thing with the drug deals and how those might get us a lead towards these robberies. But that's a very loose connection.
Oh yeah, seeking out the gang members and trying to interrogate them for information.
Mm.
I feel like that's by far the riskiest.
And they
Especially
might not even know
because-
anything about it.
Yeah, there's a possibility that A, they don't know anything. B, on top of not knowing anything, they also spread that information to people who do know, and that could make our investigation even harder.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I say for now we just investigate the banks and don't interrogate them, but if we need to, we can go find them. And...
It's sort of a last resort sort of
Yeah.
thing to keep in mind.
Actively hunting down and then interrogating gang members is going to be probably by far the riskiest option. Obviously, if the opportunity presents itself,
Yes.
it wouldn't hurt to get some information, but like us running around looking for gang members and then kicking the shit out of them till they tell us in a potentially disadvantageous outcome.
Yeah, it'd put us at odds with the gang members that we're trying to find or whoever, and the police who want to arrest us for beating the fuck out of people.
Well, the police are also investigating, and if we put the gang members on high alert, it's just going to make their jobs harder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it would.
And they're going to be even less inclined to want to let us into the crime scenes.
Yeah, so I definitely think our best order of operations is we get our hands on a map. We try and get permission to go into the most recent crime scene. And also permission to talk to some of the witnesses. And then from that, we might be able to get the information we need.
My vote is we start at the oldest bank and see what like lay of the
feel
land
like-
we can get, and then we can formulate witness questions from there. Because as
I
of right
feel
now,
like,
we really don't know what we're walking into. We have no lay of the land.
That is an option.
I honestly think we need to go to the more recent ones, get a fresh idea
Yeah.
of what these events are.
I think if we go to the earliest ones, that'll give us some small idea, and then we don't have to spend a lot of time there, but just like ask a few things, figure things out, and then go to the most recent one or one of the.
We're
more
not gonna
recent
get we're
ones.
not gonna get close to the more recent banks enough to
No.
really give us any ideas.
Again, if
Not
we
as close
can
to
get
the-
permission from the police, I think it would be the most efficient to go to the most recent bank, because obviously if we have permission to go in there, then going to one of the old ones is most of that evidence has probably already been removed, collected, or just washed away by time.
Yeah.
So I think going to the oldest one where we aren't going to be restricted is an option if we get rejected.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a good plan B. But I think if we can just go straight to one of the more recent ones, then that would be ideal.
Yeah. So how did he say to make contact with him again? If we never needed anything, I do not remember.
Pretty sure he gave us a business card.
Oh, okay. And should we call him and ask to like meet up or something?
Yeah, DM, would that be would it be possible to ask I feel like Liam would probably be the best for setting up a map.
Yeah.
Since
I
he
mean,
could
I imagine
probably
you could just
set
go
up
to
like a
any
digital map.
Subway and, I was gonna say you could probably just go to Subway and get like a paper map. Then you can take a picture of it and get it on his PDA
Yeah.
and do a thing from there.
I'm gonna be for real. I thought you meant the restaurant for 2 seconds. I was like, oh,
No.
they have those?
Oh, good
So
God.
I'm confused. What is the question?
Okay, so can I ask Liam to create a map with all of the crime scenes basically marked down so we can get like an area of operation for these people, try and get like a pattern?
I mean, you can ask. You know what condition he was in when you last saw him.
How? I mean, that would require just a simple internet search. Can we just say we did that in the interim, that we just researched locations on the internet?
Yeah. Honestly,
That's
yeah.
what Anna was
Anybody could do
technically
that
doing.
hypothetically, so
Is that
would
okay
it be
with you, DM?
possible to
Yeah, if you want to make some rolls. Hold on just a second. Sorry, I was trying to do some math to save Phil from murdering me.
Ooh, math.
all good?
Uh-oh.
Of course, I have to update my obsidian for it to work.
I went to open my calculator and I opened my calendar.
Nice.
That's fine. I tried to open Obsidian and I looked up obituaries.
Oh,
Yeah. Thanks, taskbar.
I love that. I love that for you.
Obituaries near me is what it ended up
Lord.
being. Interesting.
Oh
That's
no!
Interesting pull up.
Wow.
I love
Not
that.
correct.
Okay,
That's
so
foreshadowing. Oh god.
Oh, foreshadowing.
Okay, new plan. We harass the we harass the victims' families for information.
Yeah.
Harassment, our favorite tactic. Get Maze. Someone get Maze.
Mhm.
okay, sorry. I am done doing math for Anna. What were you asking me?
If in the interim, like in between sessions, we sat down and researched where the banks were and made a map of each location.
Roll. Let's make it an intelligence check.
And I roll for it.
I mean,
Um,
you guys are
can we
working on
all
the same
roll, or-
thing, so
I got a nat fucking 20, so
Oh shit. I don't
my
even
bed
need to add
dice
my
are
roll
being
then.
good to me.
so
Anna sort of just stares at Brian, goes, huh, and doesn't say another word.
I mean, he is a pirate. Maps are kind of his whole life.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Valid.
So
should
here
be good at
is here's what you get trying to map out all of the places that are suspected to have been hit by the same gang. And this is you don't have for sure how many have happened because you're just basing all of this off of news reports, which is not great for you. I know you rolled a nat 20, but you do not have confirmation if these crimes are related or not. What you can tell, based on the news reports you have been reading and looking at a map of the Kansas City area broken down, is there is not a pattern. It doesn't appear that there's like you're not like following a Fibonacci spiral on the fucking map. Like it's not that simple.
They aren't like
One
clustered
for the
around one
win.
part of the city or anything.
They are clustered in Kansas City proper. So you don't see them hitting the boroughs like Overland Park. You don't see them hitting the surrounding areas. They're focusing on Kansas City proper, specifically in the downtown areas.
And looking at the actual banks themselves, does it seem like they've attacked multiple different stores? Does it seem like there's a certain Are they going for high dollar exclusively, or are they going for kind of a mix
Go
between
ahead and
high
make
dollar
me
and like?
another investigation check, just because again you're basing all of this off of articles that you're finding.
If they're going for, if what we see on the map is they're going at what appears to be mostly high dollar things, then I would assume we can just like put someone on that to stake it out to see if anything like suspicious or bank robbery or whatever happens, and then they can just text the group on their PDA, "Hey, there's some people here robbing this." You know, something like that. Maybe.
I mean, at the very least, it'll give us an MO.
Yeah.
Hold on. Intelligence.
It's
So
intelligence.
that's going to be a pretty high number. Hang on. 26. Just to try and get an idea of like what seems to be their MO here. Like what's the pattern, what's the connection between all these places? Are they all like really high dollar, ritzy? Are they kind of a mix of like random stores?
There's your answer from me. Does that answer your question?
Kind of. So, Pridwin's going to say, well, they're definitely going for high-value targets. I'm certain that they're planning their attacks out before letting them play out.
How many banks have they hit total?
That's actually a great question. I have a follow-up question after the answer to that one.
Yeah.
Anna can answer her assumption about that based on a roll that's been previously made.
We can guess that there are about 14 banks and stores that have been hit.
So they're not just hitting banks; they're stores too.
I believe that's what Brendan was talking about.
And
it's been going on for a while. 5 months.
Hmm.
I think maybe we should get Liam's professional opinion on this.
Where is Liam?
Not
Is he
present.
in the room?
Pridwin is going to head to the room that Liam is staying in and knock on the door.
You knock on the door. You hear a voice from inside. What?
I need Liam's help with something.
Open it.
Pridwin opens the door.
You open the door and you see Liam sitting cross-legged on the bed. He has 2 separate laptops in front of him. Minerva is sitting on the bed next to him, looking concerned. Katya is sitting in the corner, brooding.
He's trading in stocks. I'm not in the room.
Liam?
He glances up at you. Yeah.
We've been cross-referencing the locations that we're pretty certain that these people have been hitting, and we've got a good idea of their patterns, but I was hoping you could possibly give us some more assistance.
He pushes his glasses up and glances at you. What do you want to know?
Well, we've got a map. We know that they haven't left proper. They're always targeting high-value targets, so they're definitely planning. I was wondering if maybe you could find some sort of pattern between all of them.
He leans back against the headboard and cracks his knuckles a little bit. I don't think you're asking the right questions for the answers you want.
I'm all ears.
First of all, we're looking for my brother, correct?
Yes.
So, why is he here?
As I said before we came here, I'm assuming it's so that he could be closer to where your mother was when she died.
Precisely. And if he's with this group, why this group? Furthermore, why did these attacks start when they did? Why these specific places?
Well,
There's a pattern here.
when did your brother get here?
Not sure. I mean, the demon didn't really give us a whole lot of answers.
There wasn't any information in the data your father gave us?
Not really. My best guess is Dad stopped caring about him about 8 months ago. Give or take a few.
So that leaves about 3 months before these attacks started happening.
Well, we know for certain that they're attacking extremely high-value locations, taking the money and valuables. So it's clear that monetary gain is at least one of their objectives.
What if it isn't monetary gain, but removing money from the people?
I'm imagining the whole group is like standing outside of view, outside the door, and Anna's like, Saying this out loud, leaned against the wall.
You can come in here if you want.
Elaborate, Liam
Okay.
says, looking at you.
Imagine if, say, all of these places that we have listed have some sort of connection beyond the fact that they're all fairly high value. Like, say, they spent money or invested money in a certain scientist or group.
Precisely, Liam says, smiling. Have you figured out what it is yet?
Do you think that maybe they're sinking money into Anima Fabrica?
No. Though there are a couple connections to Anima Fabrica, I don't think they're involved in this mess.
Could they be funneling money into fucking... Oh god, what was I trying to say? Could they be funneling money into something to stop Anima Fabrica?
Well,
Oh, no,
there
this-
is also, in the reports, it mentioned that these people were particularly aggressive towards the police, went out of
I'm
their
just
way to attack them. Maybe these.
Liam, from what you're implying, you're saying that your brother is in charge of these people.
No.
If it's okay,
I don't think Fuse is in charge of them. I think he has hopped on a bandwagon and incited something.
because you're making it sound as if it's very personal, like he's taking out revenge or something.
I think
Could
that
it be
has a
that
lot to do
Anima
with it.
Fabrica... Yeah, I was gonna say, couldn't Anima Fabrica have had something to do with his mother's death and he now wants revenge against them?
Well,
But they need a
not
lot of money to do that?
not necessarily. However, that is possible. Well, it is possible that perhaps whatever group they're attempting to cause harm to is responsible, or at least he may believe that they are.
It's the only thing that makes sense.
Could all of the banks they've hit have had dealings with Anima Fabrica, like they banked there?
Or any major corporation for that matter.
There is one connection that I found. You got lucky, he rolled high.
Oh boy.
However, it's going to surprise you. What I've noticed, at least with the banks, is that every single one that's been hit is heavily populated, lots of accounts, by people in the KCPD and local politics.
I did have that inkling, considering the way that they react to police who respond to their actions.
Okay, so which politicians banked there, and could they bank somewhere else that they could hit?
Well,
Or is it
based
just like
on
the government as a whole?
based on what I'm
So, like-
seeing, there are a couple of places that are left as far as banks go. I haven't exactly figured how the other businesses figure into this yet.
It could be fronts, maybe, the other businesses?
It's
Like
possible,
they're
Well-
but
laundering
for
money
who?
through there? Best guess. I don't know.
What? Well, at this point we're just theorizing, but I'm honestly beginning to wonder if these politicians may actually be assisting in the current dissemination of drugs.
Which puts us back with the gang that our friend is investigating. There are a lot of
Precisely.
different connections here. I don't think that, what did he call them? The disciples would risk bringing this much attention to themselves if they are trafficking drugs and other black market items. Which makes me believe that whatever this group is that's doing these high dollar robberies is not part of the disciples.
I don't think that would make sense either. However, this does raise a concern. If there is corruption within the local government, and specifically within the local police, we're going to have to tread extremely lightly.
There's always corruption. What do you mean? Katya says, throwing her hands up.
There is, however, if we operated in order to get the information we need, we're going to have to get permission from them, unless we sneak in. But unfortunately, most of us are not exactly skilled in that.
Look, it can't be the whole group, right? Judah says from outside. Look, I mean,
Yeah.
there's got to be some good officers out there. We just need to get lucky enough to find one and figure out if this Felix is one of those.
But how do we go about
Obvious-
figuring that out?
Good question.
Well, we could sit down and try and talk with him, get to know him better, but that isn't exactly a surefire way of discovering that information.
So what, we
I
ask
don't
him out to
imagine
dinner?
he'd-
Warden says.
I mean, food is the way
Or
to
we
a man's
just-
heart.
Or we just ask him if we can get the investigations. I'm not saying we need to trust him. Nor am I saying that we'll actually get it from this. But if he truly cares about the people and about preventing harm, he'll try and make sure that if we sell, that we're just trying to prevent more people from getting harmed, which I believe we're trying to do, then he'll help us. If he's a
Honestly,
good person.
with the way that he was acting, if we can prove that we are not interfering with his investigation, he seemed eager enough to give us what we wanted.
Eager's a strong word, but he definitely didn't seem malicious towards us.
What I'm saying is, if we are investigating the robberies that have taken place in other parts of the town, we're not here disrupting this delivery that they're expecting. Don't you think he'd be pretty excited to get us out of the way?
Precisely. That raises the point. If
Now I'm honestly curious about the delivery.
as am I, regardless, we do not need to tell anyone about the information or the theories that we have. We don't need those in order to make a case for us looking into things. We can keep this close to our chest for now. Additionally, Wince, we can keep an eye on him. I think if he's the one who suggests potential corruption first, then we can consider offering further information. However, we certainly shouldn't lead with it. We have information that could connect who these people are to what they're doing. In my opinion, that would be enough to get us permission to look into things.
So, what do you guys want to do?
So, just to be sure, before we make any final decisions, are we all in agreement about getting permission from the police to look into the recent crime scenes?
Yes. I
Yeah.
think so.
I have no qualms with it.
I will make the call then.
Perdwin, you pull out the card that was given to you. There is a number on it.
He's going to dial the number.
It rings 4 times and then goes to voicemail.
He's going to call again.
You call again. This time it is immediately picked up. Like, it barely gets through 1 ring before it gets picked up. There's no sound on the other end.
What time of day is it? It's morning, right?
Not now, it's afternoon.
Good afternoon, detective. I hope that I am not interrupting anything.
What is it now?
We are investigating the robberies, and we think we might be onto something. However, we would like to be able to go to the scenes of the more recent incidents.
And let me guess, you want permission to traipse about in a crime scene.
Better than us breaking in.
I'm gonna pretend like you just didn't say that.
As I said, we're going to do things through the legal channels. We're not trying to cause problems. So, I wanted to see if either you could give us access or get us into contact with someone who can. And additionally, if it's possible, perhaps getting us into contact with witnesses?
Give me 20, I'll see what I can do.
Thank you very much.
The phone cuts off.
Predwin will, I imagine he probably just walked out into the hall, so he'll come back into the room and say, he said he's going to try, but it may take 20 to 30 minutes.
What are you guys gonna do for the 20 minutes?
Workout.
That checks out.
Train. So, basically working out.
Ooh, you can join Maze.
Is there any other investigating anybody wanted to try to do in the 20 minutes that you guys have?
Yes, actually. Maze wanted to look into. So, his thought process currently is that they're robbing banks, and from the implications that Liam gave us, there's some corruption afoot involving all of these parties, including politicians and shit. He wants to look into banks and their assets, and specifically what they would be funding. because banks have their fingers in a whole lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to look into like if any banks are funding politicians or anything like that.
I will say that if you would like to assist Liam in looking for those things, I'll allow it.
He'll do that. He'll do that.
Go ahead and make a assist roll for him. Is there anything anybody else wants to do while that's happening?
I think Solon's just gonna like think about refining the plan further.
Okay.
What future steps could happen?
Solon and Pridwin hanging out, talking about the plan.
Yeah.
Faye,
Sounds
what are
about
you
right.
up to?
Faye's gonna go and just hang out with Brian and everybody.
Okay. Alright, with that roll, let's see what you figure out with Liam's help. I'm gonna message this to you.
Okay. We're just waiting.
Okay. Oh, we caught the guys? What the fuck?
Yeah, yeah.
What?
It's
We
over.
beat him up and
It's
we tied him
done.
to a chair.
Eh?
Okay.
I talked to my mother and so much shit happens. What the fuck?
We actually just won. Session's over. Have a good
we-
night.
We beat D&D.
Oh, okay.
We did it. We beat D&D.
Shit.
Good campaign, guys.
Oh, I guess it's time to start
It took
on my
us
second
4
character.
years, but we've done it.
We did it!
I knew it.
You knew what? That we're at the combination Pizza Hut and Taco Bell secretly?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Brian
I'm at
is
the
gonna-
Pizza Hut. I'm at the Taco Bell.
I'm at the combination Pizza Hut and Taco Bell.
I just want you to know, by the way, after our last session where y'all were, like, hazing the shit out of KFC, Liam got us KFC literally the next day, and I was just thinking about the yelling about KFC the whole time.
KFC is
Liam.
good.
KFC sucks. What the fuck, bro?
It's
I
so
mean-
good.
It's better than most fried chicken places.
Cracked me up.
Maybe the one that was just near me was shit. Okay.
It's possible.
Any fast food
KFC
is a hit
bowls
or a miss.
slap.
Yeah.
You cannot tell me otherwise.
Maybe it was because I also ordered I freaking ordered buffalo wings from there, and I'm not a huge fan.
Well, there's
of
your
buffalo
problem. What
wings.
the heck? It's
Wait,
called
you're
Kentucky
already-
Fried Chicken, not
I
You're
Kentucky
already
Buffalo
not a
wings.
fan of
Okay.
wings, and you bought wings.
I'm not a fan of buffalo wings. I couldn't find the regular wings, and I was just
This
like,
is-
"Oh, that sounds good," so I'm gonna choose that. It was not.
This sounds entirely like this is your fault.
like what the heck?
It's not the point.
KFC's pretty good. At least the ones I've been to.
I like Popeyes better.
But I temper my expectations. It is a fast food joint.
As you guys are having this canon conversation about KFC in the apartment, Pridwin, the phone that you used to call rings.
He'll answer.
I will
You
betray-
answer the phone, and there is a female voice on the other end. You got your own wheels, right?
Yes.
Good. You're gonna need them. I'm sending you some information. You might want to hurry. And the phone cuts off.
Well, that was
What
foreboding.
Pizza Hut and Taco Bell was that? I'm not gonna drop it.
I believe one of our contacts just gave us coordinates and then told us to hurry. So I suggest everybody grabs what they can and gets down to the car.
I have
Ryan
learned
is just
some
gonna open the
interesting
window and
You are not. No.
stuff.
That is the text that comes through almost
Oh.
immediately after the phone cuts out.
Yeah, Pridwin immediately goes, "Oh, this is going to be a possible combat."
oh. Ryan is gonna grab Albert out of his coat pocket, place him down on the couch, be a good possum.
Maze smiles greatly.
Pridwin looks over to the group and he says, "There's a robbery in progress."
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You don't say.
That doesn't sound right, Liam says from behind you. The timescale's off, it's too soon, isn't it?
They might be framing
it's-
us.
When was the last one hit?
A couple days ago.
Yeah, then it's off of the time frame.
Didn't we still go check it out though?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to
It's-
go check it out because then people are getting attacked by a robbery.
That's
It's
fair.
First National Bank, so I'm imagining that we're talking as we're running to the car.
I would hope
Um,
so. Y'all are talking in
yeah.
the lift, which is like slowly turtle moving downwards. Yeah.
Fucking
Brian's like
California.
jumping up
God.
and down, trying to get it to go faster.
Yeah.
God damn it. Go, 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 go. I want to
Emma's
beat the fuck
throwing
out of
on
some
her,
robbers. Let's go.
Also,
Emma's throwing
uh,
on her cosplay.
anyway, banks and politicians are funding a cult leader.
Excuse me?
Anyway, let's get to the robbery.
Is that abnormal?
Please tell me
No,
the cult leader
but I
is
thought I would
Colonel
mention that.
Sanders.
A cult leader.
You guys run
Yeah.
to the car and get in.
Yes, I love cults.
I'm imagining Judah
people
is
love cults.
driving.
Yeah.
Judah kicks it into gear and you guys roar out. You guys are about
Let's get these Hot Wheels on track.
25-ish minutes away at least. So you guys are driving and you notice, like, traffic is not great. It's fine for the first, like, 10 minutes, but once you guys start getting closer, everything just hits a standstill.
Okay. I've had enough of this.
Um,
Brian's gonna get out and just fucking start running.
Yeah, once we reach a point where we're not going to be able to get anywhere with the car, Pridwin just finds a place to park it.
Also, I should mention, because I forgot to mention this when I got here, Maze is one size larger, so he's quite big.
Oh yeah, he's he's like nearly 10 feet tall.
Days, how did you fit in
What
my
the
car?
fuck?
about that shit.
Yeah, don't worry
This-
about that.
I didn't even know how tall he was to begin with. What?
6'5".
he ate his he ate his vegetables.
He went, like, full Popeye mode.
Taller.
Yeah, he
Oh,
ate his
no.
vegetables and he
Running
drank milk.
by Maze, he looks over at him. How the fuck did you get taller?
I'm taller.
So you guys park the car and just like start jogging, and you're not close. You're good, like, you were like 15 minutes away by car at this point with the traffic, so you guys are like jogging for a hot minute.
Oh boy.
Ah, balls.
At this point, Lunologist picks you up, Pridwin, so that you're not sprinting in armor.
How about all the weapons be in their weapon form?
That's kind of what I was imagining was happening as you guys got
Okay.
close.
Never mind. I was just assuming we were all just running as a group.
I mean, far be it from
Wouldn't
me
it
to
be
stop
weird
you.
if a bunch of people were just running with weapons and shit?
To be fair, this is the world you live in, though.
Yeah, fair
You
enough.
do live in a world where people turn into weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like seeing a bunch of kids with like medieval weaponry running through the street is probably a pretty common occurrence.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's common,
Which
but
is
people running
which
around
is just
with weapons
awesome.
is common.
Yeah.
They see us running by and go, "Oh, I forgot my umbrella." Turns around and goes back inside.
So you
Yeah,
guys,
it's the opposite direction of that.
to be fair, there's nobody on the sidewalks right now. Everybody,
Maze would be-
it's like you guys get within 2 blocks of this place and there's nothing. And then all of a sudden, there's overwhelming stimulus. There are squad cars everywhere, blocking off traffic from every single direction. You notice there are fire trucks, there are ambulances. The whole 9 yards have surrounded this enormous bank building in the middle of this city block. But nobody is approaching the building. They've formed almost a barrier, and nobody seems to be going towards the building.
So should we
Pridwin's-
That's slightly concerning.
Does Pridwin see like someone who looks like they're in charge of the
Yeah, you see a white shirt.
he'll walk up and try and like call out to them.
Oh, great. You hear one of the aides say, looking at you, and she hurries over to one of the white shirts standing there. They're all standing in front of this, what looks like a trailer, this incident command center that's been set up. And he
I wish we had one of those.
turns around and glances up and looks at you guys and squints for a moment. Well, I'll be damned. Been a minute since I had some DWMA folks coming in on one of my crime scenes. What can I do for y'all? I can't imagine you're here for us.
As a matter of fact, we have reason to believe that this might be a pretty serious matter. We're here to help.
You don't say, the aide says to the side. He extends a hand to you. Lieutenant Graper.
Pridwin will take it
He shakes your
and
hand.
he'll say, Pridwin Rhizostoma.
I assume you've got some, identification.
He'll offer his academy badge.
He glances at the rest of you and decides against asking for the rest. I assume this lot's yours.
Indeed.
Great. Well, this is the quickest we've got here. My guess, they're long gone by now.
Question.
Shoot.
1. Is there any hostages? And 2, have you gotten any eyes on the suspects?
He said the things are long gone by now.
If they've had any eyes on them. Not currently.
Haven't seen anybody go in or out of any of the front or side doors from what we've seen. No visuals through any of the
What about the back?
windows. They tend to use smoke covering up the access points, make it real hard for us to figure out what's going on. The real issue is the second wave.
The second wave.
What's that?
Well, darling, you see, lately, these folks have taken to trying to hit the first responders that go in first. It's a common terror tactic.
That's just rude.
It is rude. And I don't rightly want to send any of my men up there to get, gunned down, exploded, or what have you.
Brian's gonna walk over to
could-
Pridwin. Could I teleport in through the top?
I'd say
I guess if
You
there is
guys
windows
could-
on the top.
you guys could infiltrate while I lure them out and act as bait.
Again, there's a good
If they're-
chance that nobody's inside.
However, we should expect an ambush if there is.
They like to set traps.
Hmm.
If it's the same group, he says, rolling his shoulders a bit and sighing.
Brian's gonna walk over to Pridwin. So, if we're expecting an ambush and they're waiting at the front, should we have, I don't know, Maze, Faye, me, and Solon, and you, Anna, Liam, and whoever else stay out front and, like, do a pincer attack type deal?
Possibly.
If there is anyone even in there.
If there's injured, then I'll need to be able to get to them quickly. So
Yeah.
I think I should probably be in the front line.
Yeah. Which would
I'm going to go find a
ironically
building
be the front.
to look out from.
Pridwin will nod. I'm assuming there's plenty of spots you could post up across the street.
The First National is very tall. However, immediately, I won't even make you roll for it. You notice there is a parking garage across the street, kind of catty corner, and it provides multiple levels with a decent view of the building itself.
Okay.
So, should I go in first? And if it's safe, Pridwin, would you like to follow me after?
I don't think you should just go in there, Lunala says. I mean, if they've set traps, there's a good chance they'll go off if you just enter. And if anybody's still alive in there,
Fair.
they
We
might
don't
not
want
be
collateral
afterwards.
damage.
Maze, I could teleport you to one of the higher windows and you get in from there.
There was something I wanted to do before we considered entering.
What?
Of course.
I would like to get as close to the building as possible. I may be able to figure out just how many people are in there.
Ow. Or you could ask me, Katya says, standing off to the side with her hands shoved in her pockets.
Well, how many people are in there, Katya?
She turns and looks at the building. Well, there's probably 30 souls in there. The ones that are still attached to the bodies is significantly less.
Well, I'll figure out.
That's not good. However,
figure
I
out the
can tell
positions.
you that I'm not seeing any variation in color.
What?
Color of souls? They're all blue.
Oh, I heard Brian talk, but he sounded very muffled.
Well, that's because I was getting annoyed at my coworkers for talking very loud.
Oh, I see. If I could get close to the building, I can figure out the positions of certain targets and civilians.
Okay.
Who exactly called this robbery in?
Smart.
Good question.
The white shirt glances over at his assistant. She starts flipping some pages. The first call came in about... She adjusts her glasses. 15 minutes ago. It came from a phone inside of the store.
Have we tried calling that phone back?
Attempts were made to reconnect it, but all attempts have failed.
So could it be that's one of the phones the robbers used because they want you to find this because it is a trap?
It's possible that either one of the robbers used it or they allowed the person to call for help. Either way, it changes nothing.
Yeah, we still have
In all likelihood, there is a trap. I am durable enough that I could handle potentially being hit with one. However, I'm worried about collateral damage.
Once again, I could teleport you to a higher window and you enter through there.
An alternative entrance might be wise.
I am gonna add, your whirlwind step isn't a teleport. You have to have access between point A and point B. Also, you can't lift Maze while he's in his enlarged state.
Oh, I'm not
teleport-
worried about being lifted.
Can I whirlwind step with Pridwin now?
Pridwin is wearing heavy armor, so I would say in his human form, no. And as you're a weapon and he's a weapon, if you want to wield him, it's not going to be pretty.
Couldn't he pick Lunala up
Gonna say, what about
while
if
she's wielding Pridwin?
and
That's
I just,
a possibility.
gonna say,
Something
But
just
also,
doesn't feel
it's
right.
not even him doing it. He's in his weapon form, so it would be Amani picking up Lunala while holding Brian.
well, Brian has the stats to just do it by himself, so you just teleport them or whirlwind step them there, and then whirlwind step back to Amani, get in my weapon form, go up again. But that'd be 3. That'd be a lot. Like 12 MP.
Did somebody just say
Teleport, that'd be
also?
fine.
Colt, what were you saying?
I was just saying out loud, I don't like this. It just doesn't feel, something doesn't feel right.
Yeah, that makes 2
You're
of
right.
us. Liam says
It
beside
doesn't
you.
feel good at all.
I'm certain there's something off about this,
We're
which
being
is
I
why we need to
understand
play
that
this
everyone's-
extremely carefully.
Do you
Everyone's
want me
convinced
to
there's a
just whirlwind
trap,
step
but
and see
there's
if I can see
just
up there?
the math isn't adding up.
Mm-hmm.
The math ain't mathin'? Warden says,
math
looking
ain't
at
Math
you.
Yeah.
ain't mathin'.
Brian is going to just look at Pridwin, say, I'm gonna whirlwind step up to the highest point I can get and see if I can't see anything, and then I'll come back. Sound good?
Very well. Is there anybody here who's confident in their ability to detect and disarm traps?
I'm a pirate. Traps and explosives are my specialty.
Well,
Roll
as
for
far as technological
Roll for it?
traps
Okay.
go,
No, that's not my choice, not my decision.
I can work with tech, but I don't know what I'm looking at. Assuming you could find me some sort of port on the outside, I could try and access the cameras, but it's hit or miss on whether that's accessible from outside.
Pridwin will look over to the white shirt and ask if there's any digital access from the outside.
Well, I don't think there's any access at all, if you ask me. See, what we've found is most of the systems have been fried every time we've gone in to try and look.
Brian is gonna look at Pridwin, just give him a thumbs up, and just go to teleport to the building, or up to the building.
You're going onto the roof?
I'm gonna get as high as I can, because I imagine this building is taller than 100 feet.
It is.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get as high as I can, and try to look through one of the windows.
Roll a dexterity check.
Oh, I'm good at those. Oh, hold on, let me get my Google Docs out. My Obsidian does not have the right things. Okay, dexterity. I retract my statement. I'm not very good at that.
Uh-oh.
That is a 16.
Not bad.
You try to whirlwind step your way towards the top, and you make it like maybe half way up the building.
Okay.
And immediately you are stuck in a free fall. With a 16, you manage to catch yourself on a windowsill, a ledge of the brick.
Jesus fucking Christ.
You are holding onto the ledge and manage to scramble yourself up onto the tiny alcove of space to look inside.
So, do I have to roll again or what do I see?
Roll a perception check.
It is not good. That is an 11.
With an 11, the lights are off, you don't see any movement. The windows are also a bit tinted. so makes it very hard. But it doesn't look like it looks like an office space, basically.
Okay. Brian, are we at all concerned about alerting these people? Like at this point?
Yes.
Again, they know the cops.
Cat did say
Yes.
there are no red souls, so
Mm-hmm.
there's likely nobody
So what-
waiting for us in the building. The only thing
what
we have
I'm
to worry about is
wondering-
the possibility of traps.
I wouldn't assume
What
that.
I'm wondering is if I can break the window to see better, like so it's not
Wait a
tinted
second.
at least.
Wait.
I'm gonna assume that there's hostiles regardless of soul color.
Same.
Hold on.
yeah.
Are you? You're not trying to get in once you break the window, are you?
No, I'm just trying to get a better view because the window's tinted, the lights are off, so you're not able to see a whole lot.
I'll also add, this is
Okay.
kind of meta considering that Brian is, like 100 feet in the air away from you guys.
Well, we're
Mhm.
talking about this above game. I'm just saying like what I'm trying to do before my character actually does something.
Well,
So none of them actually know this.
just
but...
pull a Brian moment. Just do your thing.
Have a
Yeah, I
Brian
mean,
moment?
What
Okay.
you're
all-
alone. Make the decision.
Hold on.
What all does Anna see from her building?
Yeah, great question. Roll me a perception
Yeah,
check.
that's a good question, Anna.
Yeah, while Anna's rolling, sorry, this is very important, and it just dawned on me. Backing off of what Solon was talking about, how none of this seems right. Considering that there is no red souls in the building, several people have likely died. They either have soul protection, or they probably already left. Considering that they already left, and this is way ahead of the time that they normally would conduct a robbery, this is a distraction, and they're probably somewhere else doing some other fuck shit.
Oh,
You're right.
shit.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
This is a distraction.
Likely. Problem
That's a
is,
good idea.
there are still innocents in the building.
No, we
Yeah.
shouldn't be
Just
worrying about
leave
that,
them
but
to
we should.
die.
We're not going to leave them,
Damn
but I'm
it.
saying that we should probably be concerned about what they want. Or
What
are
if half
actually.
of us
gonna-
leaves them?
Brian is gonna pull a certified Brian moment in his Eternal Link speak to Amani. Should we break this window to get a better view? Because this shit's tinted. I can't see nothing. Someone's receiving
Also,
a
did
fax.
Maze mention this being a distraction out loud?
Yes.
Fredwin's
I
going to
think
look
so.
over to the white shirt, who I'm hoping is still listening to us.
He is not.
He's going to call. He's going to call over again and say, "My compatriot made a very good point. It's entirely possible that this is a distraction."
Yeah.
Okay, so if that's the case, where do you think they're about to hit?
Are there any higher dollar banks or stores that are nearby?
I would farther. Think farther.
Liam,
They want the response further away,
Yeah.
Liam, we,
as
Sure.
far as
we
they
did-
can get away.
what we discussed earlier, Liam, about the
Like
thing.
other side of town level.
What thing? He says, looking at you.
Pridwin's going to pull up the map because we have the potential next target circled. And actually, that raises another great question. Is this bank one of the locations that we marked down as a potential next victim?
No, it is not.
So he's going to pull up the map, and he's going to point to the circles for potential victims and say, "These are the places we believe that they're going to hit next." We are. He's going to point to the where this bank is. Here.
Okay.
Which location of the potential victims is the furthest away?
So, you have two options. There are two banks that are kind of equidistant from your current location. One of them is in the Power and Lights District, which is going to be... I'm trying to think of the name. I'm bad with bank names. So one of your options is going to be Heartland. The second option, in the opposite
Goodwin and
direction.
Sons.
What'd you say?
Goodwin and Sons.
Yeah, the second option will be Goodwin and Sons. They're, like I said, equidistant from each other.
He's gonna look over to Liam. Did either of these fit their MO better than the other?
Well, I mean, both of them were... He glances at the white shirt. Utilized by the people that attracted me to them.
Both of them are prime targets.
Yeah?
Gonna have to rock, paper, scissors this bitch.
I don't think we split up. It's too dangerous.
No, I think that's a bad idea.
We have to
Indeed.
flip a coin and hope we find it.
Which
High or low, let's go.
Why don't we just
Hang
call
on.
both places, the white shirt says. I mean,
That's a
if
good
something's
fucking
going
idea.
on...
Brian is not there.
That's a
point.
good idea. Additionally, which of these places would be easier for them to access? Is there a subway system or anything that runs near either of these locations?
There's a whole mess of sewer tunnels that run underneath of the city. I would have to look at the mapping to know if they go underneath of there or not.
Liam, do you think you could do that?
I can try.
The dude just lived there. He doesn't know the.
Brian, once again, just breaking into this.
Brian, you hear some thunking below you. You look down and you see several arrows sticking out of the stone that you can set your feet on so you're not precariously hanging.
Oh, I'm guessing that's from Anna. Brian's gonna give a thumbs up. Where Anna might be able to see it. He doesn't really know. Just gonna give a thumbs up. Like, thank you!
Pridwin is going to say in our inner link specifically to Brian, you can create wind, right? Do you think you'd be able to get rid of the smoke that's obscuring the main entrances?
DM, would Brian be able to do that?
Yes.
I would imagine he would. Okay,
As
so
long as
Brian's
you
gonna-
have access, like a broken window, an open window, some way to pass the wind through the building, you could theoretically use your wind abilities to clear the smoke out.
So from where Brian is at the window currently, if he broke it or opened it, would he be able to get the smoke out?
I would say no, you're too high up. You're like multiple
Okay.
stories above where the smoke is. The smoke is clouding the bottom floor.
Brian is gonna say to Anna through their interlink, can you shoot me some arrows closer to one of the bottom floors where I can break a window and get the smoke out?
Can you shoot me?
Can you please
Don't
shoot me?
Don't shoot
Shoot
me.
me.
Don't shoot me.
Can you shoot me? Static. He wants me to shoot him? All right.
I'm down, Judah says!
All right, let's give him a few more shots.
Judah nods and takes aim and starts firing arrows in succession.
Also, Brian is gonna, through his interlink, say to Pridwin, yeah, I can do that.
Perfect. As soon as the smoke is cleared, we sweep the building, we get out the injured.
Alright. So did Anna shoot arrows at one of the lower floors? I'm
Did
assuming so.
you Judah break a window on her, or did you just make footholds down?
Footholds down. I wasn't asked
Okay.
for a window.
Yeah, so she's made footholds down to the ground level for you.
Alright, Brian's gonna drop down to one of those levels, or to that level.
You see one of the sergeants next to you grabbing his radio and warning everybody what's about to happen.
Good idea. So when Brian gets down to that level, Imani's just gonna take like the pommel, like the bottom part of Brian the sword, and just smack the window with it.
You do so, and immediately there's a burst of smoke that comes out and hits Imani straight in the face. Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution. Oh shit.
Ew.
Ew,
No, I'm
indeed,
good.
because
Hold
this
on.
is not regular smoke.
It's stinky smoke.
I got a 21. My
Brian,
green
the
dusty
second that you're hit with this smoke, you're fine. It's smoke. It doesn't really bother you in weapon form. However, Amani staggers a bit. What the fuck? She says, and raises an arm to cover her face.
You good?
No, do it, she says, and
Brian's gonna use his wind ability to just pump the smoke out, and then him and Amani are gonna drop to the floor and get away from there. And say to Pridwin, that is not normal smoke.
you drop to the floor alright, but you don't move anywhere.
Oh shit.
Oh.
As Amani is unconscious.
Oh.
Can Brian get out of his weapon form and catch her?
Do you want to come out of your weapon form in this smoke?
He cleared it away, didn't he?
He's
Yeah.
pushing it away. However, there was one opening, which is the window out, where he's
Brian
standing.
is gonna say to Anna, can you shatter more of the windows on this so I can shove more smoke out?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as she does that, Brian is gonna get out of his weapon form because he already rolled a high enough Constitution, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he'll be fine. He just wants to make sure Amani doesn't like hit her head on the fucking hard ass cement.
So, with that, you are able to blow a good portion of this smoke out the other side. There are still trails of it close to the ground from the devices they're coming from.
Devices? God damn.
Can Pridwin basically fire arcs of electricity to try and overload them to get them to shut off?
Yes, you can.
He is also, if Amani is on the ground floor, he is going to administer smelling salts.
Are you approaching at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you manage to get up close, and you can see a bunch of bodies on the ground inside, and two separate devices that this smoke is coming from. And you were very easily, I won't even make you roll for it, with Lunala able to hit them with a little zap of electricity and shut them off.
So did Brian manage? Do I have to roll an athletics check to see if he can catch Amani or?
No. She's
Okay.
you are okay. She's unconscious, but that's about it.
Brian's gonna jog over to the rest of the group. So, my Meister passed out. What the fuck?
Pridwin, you're standing there at the window, or rather, your wife is standing there holding you, and you see the bodies inside, and you see a very distinctive lack of something compared to the news reports you saw.
Oh.
There is no blood. There is no damage. There are simply people laying on the ground.
And are they dead? Does
No.
he see souls floating above any of
You
them?
see no souls floating.
So they're
Katya
passed
said
out
they were
from
dead.
gas.
She said some of
And
them
she
might
saw
be.
no red
She
souls.
didn't see any red souls. And she said, based on the fact that they're not moving, she thought a good portion of them were dead.
Does he notice any traps or anything? Any trip lines or...
Perception check.
Whoop. Natural 20!
No. Nothing.
Just
There are the two
Good one.
devices that went off, which look to be very strategically placed underneath of furniture in the lobby, and there's nothing else. And this is not for you lack of seeing it. There is nothing else.
Pridwin's going to run back out towards the group. Everyone's alive. It was a non-lethal, some sort of gas that they used to knock everyone out. This is definitely a distraction. Were you able to call either of the banks?
Who are you saying this to?
The white shirt.
The lieutenant looks back at you. He's got like the phone resting between his shoulder and his ear, and he's got a little notepad out and he's scribbling something down on it. It looks like Heartland isn't reporting anything. They said it's business as usual. However, nobody seems to be answering at Goodwin and Sons.
Then that's where we need to go.
Are you wanting a full mobilization over there? I mean, a good portion of my guys are all here, set up.
No. These people are dangerous. I don't think it would be a good idea for you to risk that. Also, someone needs to take care of the people here.
I'll see what I can do about sending some guys to back you up, but when we're done, I have questions, he says, pointing at you.
Pridwin nods. Of course. Liam, were you able to find a possible route there?
You're asking Liam for a route?
Yeah, because he asked him to look over the,
Well, originally you'd been asking him about the sewers.
Yeah.
Liam is able to tell you that there is a sewer system that runs underneath of both of the locations.
Do you think it would be the fastest way there, or would there be a faster route?
I mean, not particularly. The tunnels are convoluted, and I wouldn't want to try and navigate them under duress.
Fair enough.
Something occurs to me. We only have our information based off of news reports and secondhand accounts. And we have established that there is corruption within leadership. How much of the information that we have can we trust?
Did you say that out loud?
No. Through the link.
Okay.
That would have been funny.
Pridwin will reply through the link. It's hard to say, but I'm certain we know this is a trap. We know their MO, so we need to move now.
Not disputing that. I am saying, what are we going to find there?
Only one way to find out. They mention the MO. We can expect traps. And we can expect casualties.
But if the sewers run under the banks, what if one of them runs right under, say, the vault for some reason, and they can just get in through the sewers?
My guess is that they likely used the sewers to move unnoticed after setting up this diversion. which means they're already there, which is why we need to figure out how to get there fast.
I'm gonna regret this, the sergeant next to you says, and pulls out a set of keys.
Our vehicle's stuck in a jam, so if you can lend us yours.
I'm not letting you drive, he says, and tosses it over top of you. And it is caught by a younger man in SWAT gear. And he looks confused and says, "Sir?" And he says, "Just do what they say." The guy in the SWAT gear nods awkwardly and looks at you guys and says, reporting for duty?
Hell yeah.
Good. We need to get to that bank fast.
Oh, I can do fast. And he jogs over behind some vehicles. I'm assuming you guys follow.
We're gonna be friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys round the corner, and there is a bear cat sitting there. Hope you guys can make yourselves fit, he says.
Pridwin will transform into weapon form.
As you do so, everybody else getting into their own weapon forms, you guys manage to get in and on the Bearcat, and he puts the keys in and revs it. Where am I going?
Pridwin points to the map.
If you guys have never seen a Bearcat, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I love me some big ol' scary law enforcement
I love
vehicles.
The Bearcats are fucking sick. There was one at KHP, and I was like, I want to drive it.
I
Armored
love our
vehicles
Bearcat.
are awesome.
Yeah. So you guys are in and on the vehicle. Mace, I'm imagining you're on top of it because you're too big.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like hanging off of one of the back steps of it. And
his
you
compression
guys,
shirt is now a mega compression shirt.
you guys start driving, lights and sirens, and a vehicle falls in front of you and behind you. And if people were not moving out of the way before, they are now.
Oh, this is so sick.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So mind telling me where we're going across town? The kid says while he's driving.
This incident was a diversion. They
Was
knocked
Amani okay
everyone
by
out
now?
with.
Hold on.
Yeah, Amani's
Yeah,
coming
well,
back to consciousness. He used smelling
Pridwin
salts
tried
on
to
her.
resuscitate her, so I would hope she would be back up.
It was just knockout gas, so the smelling salts worked like a charm.
Yeah.
Brian's gonna look at Amani and be like, well, good morning, sleepyhead.
I'm never breaking a window with you again.
Oh no, we're gonna break so many windows you don't even know. Wait, where's Anna? Is Anna here too?
The kid driving looks very concerned.
Just don't, just ignore us.
We're about to commit so many crimes.
No,
Okay,
don't
but
say
what
that.
if
much
we
company.
didn't commit crimes? The kid behind the wheel says.
They used some sort of knockout gas. It was all a diversion to try and get people away from where their actual target is.
That doesn't make any sense. They've never done that before.
Well,
Well, he's doing it now. Maybe they're
Unless the
changing
target they-
tactics so they can stay being not caught for longer.
Unless the target they're looking for has a higher security than the rest. They had to divert it somehow.
As you guys are saying this, the radio has been turned down a little bit in the Bearcat, but it's not off. And you suddenly hear tones go off.
Ah,
oh.
shit.
As the tones go off, there's a pause, and then you hear a male voice come over. All units be advised. There's a pause. All units be advised, shots fired. Shots fired near the Goodwind and Sons over on 2nd Street. Unknown number of people inside. There's another pause.
Bearcat driver.
What are you saying to him?
Oh, I was like, can you go faster?
I'm going as fast as this thing will go.
Shit. Oh, keep doing work. You're doing good.
There's a whole lot of talking going on the radio. People are talking over top of each other. Transmissions keep getting cut off. You see a line of stress creasing your driver's brow as he's listening to the radio traffic get worse.
We managed to catch this as early as possible. We're going to be able to get there before they escape.
It's gonna be too late. It's always too late.
No, it won't.
You hear another tone go off. This one is a lot more alarming. It's a rapid, high-pitched screech of a tone. You see an entire tensing go over the boy's features.
What does that tone mean?
He doesn't
Officer
say
Dan.
anything. He just keeps driving, waiting, listening. You can see his gloves gripping the steering wheel tighter. He moves a hand up and puts it to his earpiece. Fucking say something. The tone keeps going off. He curses under his breath. As you guys flip a corner, you can almost feel the Bearcat up on 2 wheels as he takes it too sharply.
I think we got a 10-foot maze on the back. First, probably balance that out.
Maze is helping.
He's just sitting, he's like cross-legged, meditating on top of the car.
God.
Every time the car almost flips, he just shifts over to restabilize
He leans
it.
slightly.
He just leans mildly.
Slightly to the left. It's fine.
Yep.
The high-pitched squeal deafens as you hear screaming come over what sounds like a handheld, and all you can hear is shouting indiscernibly and the sound of gunshots in the background.
Oh, that's not concerning at all.
You sure your kids are, good to handle this shit? He glances at all of you kids, literally.
We've killed monsters the size of small buildings before.
And we fought the King of Hell when he was going berserk. So you know what? This is an average Tuesday for us.
I hope that armor stops bullets, he says, as you guys round another corner way too fast.
Stops more than bullets.
Armor is for pussies.
Who needs armor?
As you guys get closer to this location, you can actually hear the gunfire.
Oh Jesus. Also, Maze, you saying that just reminds me of the one guy who soloed Melania. Like kept soloing Melania and
Let me solo her.
Let me solo her.
Just like this reminds me of that, and I'm just like, he just wears a pot, and I'm like, nice.
One day, Maze is gonna get naked and put a pot on his head.
Oh my God.
I'll
Please
try
don't.
to- Please do. What do you mean?
I don't want
Do
that
it.
visual image.
Armor only weighs me down. My vision only tricks me.
Why do you have a pot?
God bless.
Oh, I love America.
He rolls this thing, drifts it to the side, and you see absolute chaos as you guys come around this city block onto another bank. This one is a lot less tall, more wide. And there are shattered windows in the front. You can see bodies laying on the ground outside. You have no idea what's happening inside. It's too dark for you to tell. If there had been people on the street level, they have fucked off.
So are we just storming the fortress, or are we going through like a side door?
It's possible that they've already trapped the place. We need to be able to push our way in, but we need to be careful.
The kid who's driving already opens the door. You can see him reaching to in between the driver and passenger seat and grabbing a rifle out of it, pulling it off of the rail. Y'all want to talk shop, go ahead, but I'm not gonna let him sit there by himself and bleed out.
I'll go with
Wait.
him. Brian's gonna hop out and follow the SWAT officer.
We're considerably more resilient. We'll go in there.
So am I just supposed to stay here and watch?
Yes.
We'll bring your comrade back to you. You can give him medical attention to whatever your
Keep
knowledge
your
to that
distance.
is.
Do I look like a fucking medic to you?
No, you look like someone who's very capable, but not in the kinds of scenarios we're trained to handle.
What are you?
I'm a medic.
I'm literally SWAT, he says, looking at you.
And we fight monsters the size of houses. And if this has anything to do with why we're here, you are gonna not be much help.
Human bullets do not affect us the same way they affect you.
No, them shits are like fucking getting the toothpick thrown at you, man.
As you guys are arguing about this, you can see Anna and Judah already moving, like strafing to the side
Mazes
towards
too.
the corner of the building.
Yeah,
Brian's
Pridwin's
gonna go
already
with Anna
moving.
and Judah, yeah.
Brian and this kid are arguing, and you look up, and everybody's just moving all at once.
God
Maze
damn it,
will
man.
Maze will stick with Pridwin. He'll help him with being tank.
Brian is gonna stay in the back and just buff them.
As you guys strafe to the sides, you approach the front windows that have been shot out, and automatically, this is very different. This is what you've read about in the news articles. The whole of the lobby is littered with debris, with damage, and with viscera from bodies. Bodies that have been quite literally torn apart.
Oh, safe to say I am not hungry anymore.
I'm gonna use wild sense. I'm gonna look for any life signs anywhere.
Brian is gonna use...
Roll.
That'll be a 17.
Can I activate a vigilant?
Yes.
It is active.
So, with the 17, and it's a 60-foot radius, so that would get you most of the lobby. Maze, there's a whole lot of not alive people in here that you're not really registering, but you do sense a couple people cowering behind one of the front desks, like tucked down, trying not to move. You can see them shaking. You can sense them, really. You can hear the hitched breathing. And with 60 feet, you can't really sense anything other than the lobby itself.
Okay. Pridwin, front desk.
Pridwin nods. He's basically just trying to stabilize anyone who's injured but alive. If there is anyone who's injured but alive.
You have, like, leapt through one of the shot-out windows and start looking through the lobby, and there isn't a lot of people to save. I mean, you're looking at pieces.
Yeah, that makes sense.
However, with Maze's
has, like,
direction,
that makes
you
sense.
do hear a hitched gasp from one of the lobby desks nearby.
Brian's gonna look over to Pridwin. Should I use Tears of the Pacifist to maybe heal them a little bit?
Pridwin's gonna look over to the counter. What state do they appear to be in?
You can't see them. It's like the front desk type of things, where, like, it's not easy to access around them
Glass.
to protect the
Oh,
tellers.
okay. So there's.
Yeah.
Are any of the windows taken out?
Yes.
He's going to lean through and try and see where the people are.
With your wife standing next to you in case you need to transform, you lean through and you don't see them, but you hear another gasp and someone shushing someone else.
We're with the academy. The police are outside. Are you all right?
Don't trust them. That's what the other people said.
Oh, so they're imitating us.
I have a gun.
Sick.
I'm not afraid to use it.
I'm sorry, but a gun is not gonna do a whole lot against us.
Don't.
You hear the
Brian-
girl let out a terrified whimper, and you hear the gun cocking.
Brian, no, that's not how you deal with scared people.
So much for de-escalation.
If Brian gets shot, he
That
gets shot
gun
by being
can't
his own
help
stupid
you.
self, God damn it! If Brian gets shot.
Oh
he
no,
gets
there's scared people who are in the middle of a literal crisis, and they think that you're one of the bad guys.
So
How
I'm
do
gonna
I
tell
make them
them.
calm down? Your gun won't save you.
Your gun won't save you. Come out.
Well
Come
done.
out with your hands up. I'm kidding.
Maze,
I'm kidding. Don't actually have him. I'm not saying that out loud.
Maze will walk up to the counter and he'll say, "We're here to help you. We are working mostly of our own accord. We want to get you out of this situation." Brian, shut up.
You've lost talking privileges.
No, I'm
Don't worry
in the
about him.
corner. God damn it.
Don't worry about
If
him.
you want-
He's just an idiot.
If you want to stay there, you can. Just please tell me if anyone's injured.
There's silence. You're really not gonna hurt us?
Honest to God, we're here to help.
You're not animals?
No.
No.
The second animals comes out of this woman's mouth, you hear a frantic yelp and whimper of hysteria from another person somewhere nearby.
Well, that's another lead. No, we're here to help. We will assist you in any way we can.
Is the someone nearby?
They're like under another
with
desk
them?
right next to them, yeah.
Okay.
You see a hand reach out. Its palm extended a bit.
Damn, can't believe I died. That's crazy.
Can't believe this.
Timeout will do to you.
You see she hesitates with her hand out for a moment, waiting to see if she's gonna get grabbed or shot or anything. And after a moment, she grabs the edge of the counter and pulls herself out, and you see a very frazzled young woman, probably 19 years old at the most, covered in blood. And as she crawls out from underneath the counter, you see probably about a 5-year-old poke their head out behind her. The 5-year-old is also covered in blood and crying.
Is there anyone hurt back there?
Yeah.
I'm a doctor. I can help them.
Here. She helps, like, holds a hand out to help you over the shredded plexiglass.
He'll take the hand, but it's going to basically just be him hopping over the counter.
You hit the ground in your heavy armor, and the child immediately crawls back under the desk and starts to cry.
Listen, I know he's not much of a looker, but he really is here to help you.
He's very helpful. Like, extraordinarily.
The little girl crawls back up to look at you, rubbing her eyes.
The metal protects me from the bad people.
As she crawls out a little bit curiously, you can see her arm is broken. And not like broken, but like intentionally shattered.
He's going to immediately set down his doctor's bag on the counter, and he's going to pull out a cup.
As you do so, the woman who helps you over the plexiglass staggers a little bit and then drops to the ground beside you. She has one arm wrapped around her midsection.
What's wrong?
He's going to say...
She waves you towards the child. I'm fine. Just help her, please.
I'll help her first, and then I'll get to you. Just hang in there.
You hear the frantic whimpering of another woman somewhere nearby.
Maze is probably gonna hop over and try to help them.
Yeah, it's so
Fridwin's gonna look over to them and say, "Make sure that everyone's accounted for. If anyone's in worse condition, let me know so that I can help them."
Solid.
Brian is gonna look at the guys and be like, "Am I allowed out of the corner?"
No.
Not yet.
Solon, you, in jumping over and looking, you find a man curled kind of at the ends. He's half conscious, and it appears that he has probably 12 different stab wounds.
Ow.
Whoa.
There is also the feminine whimpering, which Maze, you go looking for, and you see crouched underneath the table, there is what looks to be maybe a 30-year-old woman, but her eyes are crazed. Her hair is frazzled, she's covered in blood. You get the sense that she was lying among the bodies trying to look like she was dead. But now that you guys have entered, she's almost gone full feral at this point.
Yeah.
She looks at you and, like, bares her teeth at you like a cat.
He'll slowly put his hand out and he says, "I'm not here to hurt you. Here to help."
She actually growls at you and skitters backwards underneath the table.
I'm not going to force you to come with us, but I would like to assess your injuries.
She growls again and remains tucked underneath the table. Solon, the man that you are looking at, his eyes lazily lift open a bit to look at you. You see he has a manager tag on.
Oh, we found the man in charge.
Hardly, he says to you.
Oh?
I just manage the front desks and the clerks.
Pridwin's going to be just administering healing water and trying to set injuries.
Brian's gonna look over to Pridwin again. Should I cast my healing ability to just help a little bit?
Yes, I need all the time that you can buy.
Okay. Brian's gonna cast Tears of the Pacifist above the people, so just like a little rainstorm heals them for. Do I have to roll my d6 for the turns, or just how much?
I won't make you roll for the
Says-
turn since we're not in combat.
Okay.
And just like that, Brian has been let out of the corner.
Nope, he is still in the corner. He's just casting it from the corner.
No one.
All I'm
loves
thinking
baby
of
in
is
a
that
corner.
episode of Chowder when he's like gets put in the corner to help, and then he ends up pulling Schnitzel's pants down, and like the whole place explodes.
Yeah.
That's all I can picture for that.
Oh my god.
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
I won't move from this spot.
Maze will call out to Pridwin. I have someone here. She's not mentally well. I believe she was among the chaos, among the bodies when everything happened.
Keep an eye on her. Make sure she doesn't lash out or hurt anyone. If we can't get her to calm down, we may just have to carry her out.
Agreed.
Fredwin, you really need to look at this guy. He is full of holes that should not be there.
Pridwin's going to, after setting the child's arm and administering water, he's going to move over to the manager.
So the healing should help a little bit.
You move to the manager, and like I said, he's got about a dozen stab wounds in various places. He looks up at you wearily, with little left to give.
Pridwin's going to produce some water and say, I'm going to need you to drink this.
He can't even lift an arm at this point to try and take it from you.
He's going to help him take it.
You do so. The extent of his wounds are so bad it doesn't even, like, there's not even a physical appearance of healing at this point because all of it went to try and fix the internal.
He's going to just keep working on him then, until he's stabilized.
As you're trying to do this, you hear the woman who collapsed behind you whisper, Has anybody seen Marone?
What do they look like?
Marone is... He's about 8 years old. She coughs, gripping at her side. It was... Bring your kid to work date.
Where did you last see them?
Marone is one of the other teller's kids. She tries to get her bearings. Please, you have to find him before they get here.
We will.
Before who gets
Oh,
here?
you don't understand. He's the lieutenant's son. His wife works here.
Where did you last see Marone?
He was with my daughter. The little girl with the shattered arm is curled in a ball, crying.
Pridwin would have gotten her arm in a sling, and he's gonna look over to, I'm assuming since Maze, you're still dealing with the feral woman, right?
He's probably going to try to get someone else to take care of her because we're a little on time and Maze wants to
Faye
try to
can.
catch these guys. Yeah, Faye. All right.
Yep.
Then he'll call over Faye to help with the lady.
Faye, you approach, and there is a 30-something-year-old woman crouched like a cat underneath of a table, hissing at you.
She's a little
Nice.
sad.
Brian.
Can I
Brian is gonna
crouch
look
beside her and just sit?
And yes, you can.
Okay.
Brian's gonna ask the lady, what description can you give me of Marone?
He's Hispanic. He was wearing a button down that was white and a tie. He wanted to dress up like his mom.
Can Brian roll a perception check to see if he can see anyone matching that description, but slightly, like an 8-year-old looks like that?
Go ahead.
Okay. And that is a 17.
With a 17, looking around the body parts in the lobby, you do not see anybody that matches that description. It doesn't look like the
Right.
people who were torn apart were children.
Brian is gonna say to Pridwin and Mace, "Can I be let out of the corner to look for this kid?"
Yes. Well, actually, I think medical aid would be.
What I
everyone
need
is
you to
there.
do right now is, do you think you can get... Once these people are stabilized, do you think you can get them back outside?
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt.
Then we'll have him take care of that. Pridwin, I assume me and you should go investigating.
Yes, just let me finish up here.
Yes.
So who's all been stabilized right now? Is it just the little girl? Because if it is, I'm
That's a
gonna wait for her mother to be stabilized too before I move them out.
Probably a good idea.
Let's not separate families here. That's not good.
Yeah, so
Rest in peace.
there's the little girl with the shattered arm who you have, she's stable, and then you've been trying to stabilize the man with the stab wounds, but it's a process. He is not well. And then you haven't done anything with the mother teller yet.
Pridwin will make some healing water since she only has a single stab wound, I'm pretty sure.
She has 2 bullet holes.
Hmm. Well, the healing
my
water
healing
should
water
help
just doing
stabilize
nothing?
that.
It is helping.
Stop doing shit. Goddamn.
It's helping. The
Um.
difference is these are humans, and they
That's true.
they damage a lot more easily.
Yeah,
That's-
humans are squishy.
Yeah.
So even if we do a shit ton of healing to them,
Humans are very squishy.
Humans are very squishy. Okay.
Yeah.
Pridwin will
Is there
make a healing
ambulances
water
or
and pass
anything
it over
outside?
to her.
She takes
What
it.
was that? What was that,
Is
Ryan?
there ambulances or anything outside? Can I tell?
You can hear sirens approaching, but nobody is coming in. Much
Okay,
like the last place, they are not allowing anybody to
Right.
enter.
Brian is going to look over at the woman and ask, "Are you able to walk? I can carry your kid out, but we need to get you to sit me in Matisse."
I don't think I can move.
Okay, Brian is gonna go over to her and try to lift her. Is it all right if I lift you and carry you out then?
Sure.
Okay, Brian is gonna pick her up and start moving her.
You hear the little girl scream for her mother as you do so.
Hey, come on. I'm gonna get you 2 out of here. Come on. Brian is
Amani
gonna hold his hand out to her.
Amani kind of crouches down and eases the little girl into her arms and follows you.
Wait, did we see their call sign, their smoke at all when they used
Nope.
to escape? They must still be in the vicinity then.
I'm certain they are, which is why we really need to get survivors out.
Yes.
So when Brian gets to the door, he's gonna crack it. He's gonna yell out, "I have survivors! Please don't shoot me!"
You see, there are 2 squad cars with the Bearcat, with the officers that arrived with you that you guys told not to come in. And your driver looks around and then runs up to take the woman from you.
Okay, I have to go in there. There are just like I think 2 more survivors. We're still looking for one. Where's Katya?
Katya and Liam, you do not see.
Okay.
Likely running perimeter, I hope.
Yeah. I was gonna ask if Maze, could you use your ability you used the last time to see if we can't find Marone at all?
I'll try. He's gonna go to a part of the, I guess, a deeper part of the lobby, like past it, and use Wild Sense on the parts he hasn't covered yet.
Roll again.
All right. 12.
With a 12. For just a moment, you think you sense movement beneath you, and then it's gone.
Below me. He's gonna look for any stairs that lead down below, or like an elevator or something.
You look around and you see there is the entrance to like the vaults that goes down, but it's a very, very big, heavy door, and it appears to be locked.
Brian is gonna look over to Maze and be like, "You're the one who dealt with the feral lady that Faye is by. How do we get her out?"
I'll probably just knock her out and carry her. Pridwin, you carry
Don't-
chloroform, right?
Do you want me to?
No.
No!
Knock her out.
I'll stay here. I'll stay here and search for an entrance. There's some stairs lower. You go help Faye get her out.
Faye, while you have been sitting next to the feral one, you have heard some very interesting things. The woman seems to be muttering about the animals over and over. I would say, Faye, you're the only one probably close enough to hear it, though, so. If Faye's alive.
Sorry, I was talking, but my mic was off.
Rest in peace, Faye. Can't believe she died. Goddamn.
God bless.
God bless.
Okay.
Yeah,
Poor
so
old lady.
the woman keeps muttering about the animals. She keeps saying it over and over.
Okay. Now she's acting like one, which is concerning. Alright.
She says she has to blend in when you say that out loud.
Oh. Oh no. Okay, I think
I'm
Faye's
guessing Brian shouldn't hand her Albert.
this is horrible. I think Faye is going to. Oh no, Faye is going to get on the ground in front.
Oh Lord.
Shut up, okay?
Wait, you said
And
you're gonna get on the
Faye-
ground and do what?
Hold on, I'm getting there.
Okay.
Oh my god, this is the worst thing I've ever made my character do. It's fine.
Oh no. What are you doing?
There are many things to come. Don't worry.
Faye is going to start acting like a protective dog and like bark and then crawl under the table with.
Hold on, wait, I gotta roll. Oh my god!
You're
The
enabling
woman-
the crazy lady?
This can't
The
work.
woman
This
looks
can't
at
work.
you and looks around and then cuddles up next to you protectively as you do this.
This can't fucking work.
This can't be happening.
There's no way.
Why?
Maze looks down at them. He says, Brian, I think they have that handled. I'm gonna go take care of this large metal door.
Brian's gonna have to go with the large metal door.
Okay,
Faye,
well, if it...
as you're sitting there with her, she, looking around with wild eyes, whispers to you, "If we look like them, they won't. They'll think we're part of them. They won't hurt us."
Faye's gonna just go, and then pat her head and go, "You're safe."
Faye, I need you to get her and the other survivor out of here.
Okay, I can try.
The woman proceeds to start listing animals in order
okay.
over and over and over again. I am going to send to you what she is saying.
Lion, cat, zebra, duck.
Ryan. No.
Why not?
No.
But why now? Give me a good reason.
So she's just saying that in order over and over again. Like she's trying not to forget.
Okay.
Maze, you were about to take a door out?
Yeah. Also, quick
With
question:
Brian's help.
Are you worried about AP costs right now since we're out of combat, or should I still add those costs?
Still at him.
Okay,
Oh,
just
okay.
making sure.
Well, then I guess I won't do what I was planning on doing. Damn it.
They can replace a metal
Hurricane.
door. They're probably more concerned about the robbers, so I'm going to try to tear this door off of its hinges.
Roll.
Can Brian help?
Roll strength.
Yes.
That is a yeah. Okay, that is a 27 for strength.
How math? Hold on, wait. Give me a second to math. Yeah, give me a second. I rolled a 18, but I haven't added anything to that, so.
Well, between the two of you with that 18 and 27, you guys are gonna do it, so don't worry about the math. So,
Okay.
you immediately
Thank
start
you.
trying
I'm
to
amazed.
rip in the opposite direction of the hinges, and you hear a squeal and a groan. And I will say, you're only getting away with this because you are a size larger.
Fair.
enough.
The door is one of those big metal circular ones, and it begins to buckle outwards towards you as you are pulling and bracing your feet against the wall.
Okay.
Well, it ain't circular anymore.
Oh, I can also lift three times my strength too, so he's got quite the strength buff right now.
Yeah.
Good lord.
Brian is just gonna reach out and squeeze one of his arms. It's like, God damn, did you get musclier too? What the fuck, bro?
His muscles have muscles.
Brian's like, I'm not easy here.
He's literally got the Popeye arm.
There's just fucking squish. What the fuck? Sir, your bicep is the size of my head.
It is.
Pretty much.
Jesus. Cat included. That's fucking insane.
And once they get that door off or as open as they can, he's gonna immediately go through and try to follow it down.
Brian's gonna follow as well.
Yeah, Predwin will follow as soon as he's got everybody stabilized.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, you guys just gonna charge down the stairs?
Yes.
Probably not.
Can I roll perception to see if there's any chat?
Yeah.
Predwin would call out and say, "Exercise caution."
Oh, I was gonna
It
do
is a
that. Yeah, don't worry
15 to
about
see if there's any traps there. DM, are there any traps on the stairs?
Are you rolling perception?
I did indeed. I rolled a 15.
With
Ooh,
a 15.
what are my mutations? Okay, I'm also gonna roll.
With a 15, you do not see anything.
Okay. I don't see any traps.
Predwin will actually light up too, just in case it catches anything that you can't see in the regular light.
Yeah.
Predwin, now that you have lit yourself up,
Mm-hmm.
you see something reflecting further down the stairwell.
Does it look like a line, or...?
No, it looks like a screen. And something is moving on it.
Oh.
Is it like cameras?
There's, a screen over there.
Can Brian look at the screen since Predwin pointed it out and see what's on it, maybe?
You take a step closer and peer down in the direction, and you see it is in fact a screen. with a countdown on it.
Oh,
Hmm.
It's counting down from 3 minutes.
Oh shit.
All right, we have possibly a bomb.
Mm.
epic. Who doesn't love bombs?
We really.
Oh, excuse me. What?
They're covering their tracks, you hear Lunala say from behind you.
Then we have to fucking find them.
A sensed movement
And
down
the
here.
bomb.
Let's keep moving.
If we follow them, we risk getting trapped down here after whatever this is goes off.
I can
We
just
need
go
to deal
down
with the
there,
bomb
go
first
for it,
and
find
foremost.
anything. Do you want me to whirlwind step down there and try to find it?
If you can scout ahead, then scout ahead. If we can find
Okay.
this, then we can disable it. Then we can worry about chasing.
Okay, Brian's gonna whirlwind step down there and try to locate wherever the bomb might be. Is there like wires or anything?
You sprint further down. All you see is the screen. It's almost like it's a warning screen. There doesn't
Okay.
appear to be anything attached to it.
Okay. Brian, is there like another stairwell or are there doors or anything?
Yeah, so once you get to the bottom floor of the stairs, it opens up into a literal vault with different sections, a hallway with different doors that branch off, each a metal door, each blocking off more sections of safety deposit boxes and vaults in and of
Oh,
themselves.
that's awesome. Oh,
Um,
and my coworker's here. Damn it.
Maze, are you detecting any life signs?
Let me. Oh wait, hold on. Let me check something. Oh, I can hold concentration on this ability. Okay. I'm gonna roll to detect life signs.
Okay.
That is a 18. Ooh.
Yippee.
With an 18, you can cover pretty much the entirety of the vault floor. So all of the vaults surrounding you. And you only detect one single hint of movement, one life force. And it is in the furthest vault away from you.
What around do you think its heart rate is?
Fast.
Fast. I detect something. Follow me.
Pridwin's going to follow.
You have 2 minutes left on the clock. You walk forward, and you notice that the direction you're walking, of all the vault doors, this is the only vault at the end that the door is open on.
I believe they're searching for a specific safety deposit box. Otherwise, all of this would have been ransacked.
Pridwin's going to rush in. He's going to first of all look to make sure there's nothing, no traps or anything, and then he's going to peer inside.
You don't see any traps. You peer inside, and you see that this vault section, with all of the safety deposit boxes and vaults, this is the one that has been hit. There are doors to safety deposit boxes that have been blown and ripped open. There are vaults hanging open. And there is a sizable hole in the floor against the back wall. And in the corner, you see a body.
A living body or a
Yes.
dead body?
The woman, you see her weakly, she has a gun in her hand, and she tilts the gun in your direction. Her eyes barely open. She is not in good shape.
Is she,
Delirious?
perchance her appearance? Is she wearing a white button down and,
Yes, she is.
Ma'am, we're here to help. Are you hurt?
She faintly, her hand is shaking on the gun as she has it settled on you.
He's got his hands up and he says, "Ma'am, we don't have much time."
From behind you in the hallway, you hear Lunala say, "Prid, you've got a minute."
We can track them through this hole, or we can go back.
Do you
Amani
think these
looks
vaults
at
are
you.
bomb-proof?
We need to get her out of here.
I agree, but we have a minute. No sense in getting her out of here if we're all atoms.
Hello, I am back.
How about we... He's gonna look down the hole, see if it goes down into a... What does it go down into?
It is a long, dark hole that has been blown through pure cement, rock, and metal. And it just keeps going.
We can't risk this opportunity. We have 1 minute left. What if I share my location with you via RPDA and I jump down? You take her out.
Brian's gonna join.
This is a bad idea, Lunala says.
I agree. But I guess it's too late now. Let's move.
I won't jump into any crazy combat. I'll just keep an eye out.
Lunala
You aren't
sprints
exactly
into
built
the
for
room.
stealth.
Are we going or not?
Yeah.
Pridwin's going to head over. He's just going to walk up to the woman, briskly, and try to pick her up.
She tries to shoot you, but she literally doesn't even have the strength to pull the trigger back.
He's going to gently take the gun from her, and then he's going to administer healing water and start moving.
Are you just picking her up?
Yeah.
You
I'll notify.
go to pick her up, and as you're gloved, do you have your gloves on or off?
He's probably wearing his gauntlets.
You feel something strange when you move your gauntlet behind her.
Oh.
Like you hit a solid surface.
Ah,
There's a landmine under her, isn't there?
You don't know.
He's going to apply pressure as he's lifting her up on the object so that it doesn't, trigger.
Okay.
Does he see what the object is?
It's a mine.
I need someone to take her.
Brian's gonna run over to her and pick her up and start going up the stairs, I guess.
Brian, you pick her up and you feel something strange as you do so.
Oh, that what is it? What is it?
You touch bone
Oh,
as you go to pick her up.
hell
You
no.
realize that the skin on her back is gone and you are touching spine.
Pridwin, there's
Pridwin's-
spine. I am touching spine.
You know what? Pridwin's going to use his big healing ability on her.
Okay.
Is that something you want to do while touching a landmine?
Also,
He's
you've got about
standing
30
on it right now.
seconds.
Fuck it. Pridwin, don't mind it. I'm just gonna go. You fucking figure something out.
He's
I'll meet
doing.
you guys eventually.
He literally glows, does the healing ability, and he just yells, "Run!"
Okay, Brian's gonna start fucking whirlwind stepping.
Brian,
you ready, Solon?
Floor after floor, it
you
doesn't
and
matter.
Damani, you are able to get out very quickly if you're whirlwind stepping.
Oh, we're whirlwind stepping the whole way, boy.
Maze and Solon, what are you and
Yes.
your partners doing?
jump. He looks to Solon.
How close is Pridwin to the hole?
About 6 inches.
All right, Maze, get in the
You
hole.
two need.
Get in the
grab my
hole!
hand, and I'm
Get in the hole,
pulling him.
boy!
On 3, we're gonna pull.
Okay.
All right, Pridwin, you ready? I'm like grabbing his belt.
Just go, and I'll follow after you.
Too bad you don't have a choice.
Hold on tight. I'm about to.
Solon, like, grabbing your fucking leg armor as he like jumps into the hole.
Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna, while everyone's holding on to each other, can Maze Sonic step to get a boost of speed going down?
Yes.
I'm gonna do that.
If you do that, Pridwin, you're not gonna have much of a choice because you're getting pulled by something that's like twice your size.
Alright, well, this was a mundane landmine. I wasn't expecting it to hurt me anyways.
We're not taking that chance.
Lunala
standing on it.
sighs, and seeing where this is going, Lunala dives into the hole with everybody else.
Alright.
And Pridwin is going to leap
You do
along
so.
with them.
You guys go into the hole, and the mine triggers with about a 2-second delay. That explosion
More
is
of a delay
nothing.
for a mine.
However, as you are falling into darkness, it's the secondary explosion that hits you. The real shockwave. Brian, as you are sprinting out of the building, Faye, you have managed to coax the woman outside. Which is good, because as you guys make it out the door, you look behind you to see if Pridwin is following, and there is a violent explosion. Orange-yellow flames.
Does it
And
look like it's gonna
Oh.
the entire bottom floor of the bank disappears.
Oh my god.
As the floors above it buckle and begin to collapse down on top of the bottom floor.
I know they said the banks were collapsing, but I didn't think they meant it literally.
Oh, they apparently did. Brian's gonna
Damn,
look over to Faye.
okay.
We should probably get from as far away from this as we
Yeah,
can.
As you guys are standing there, bracing from the shockwave, you see the debris of this building start to come directly towards you.
Oh,
You
fuck.
gotta fucking
Brian
go.
is gonna grab Faye's arm and roll and step towards the top.
You guys,
No.
you and the officers responding, and all of you kind of just tuck and roll, like, into the Bearcat and a responding ambulance, where they've been trying to get these people out of the way, as the debris comes down on top of you guys.
On top of
Oh
us.
shit.
Yes.
Okay, well if it's
How
if it's
fucking-
on top of us, I'm gonna use my Guardian Vanguard to save as many people as I can.
So, with you getting into the Bearcat, with your
Dog
half
lady.
of the group, and the rest of them getting into the ambulance, as the debris comes down on top of you, you guys are in a protected space.
Oh, okay.
You're
I
just
was
gonna
straight up
be
just gonna like
in the middle
smack
of
my
it.
fucking I was just gonna say I'm just like gonna smack my wrist and like fucking Halo dome bubble this shit. God, I miss Halo. This
Oh,
game's
yeah.
actually good. Don't get me
The,
wrong, Infinite is good and all, but
the violent shaking finally stops as the rubble begins to settle. And
the
you
fuck did
guys
they set off
are
under there? A nuke?
you guys are kind of left with an eerie silence. The sirens drowned out by all of the noise, and you wait for your hearing to come back.
Faye doesn't know they went down the hole.
Nope.
Nobody
Holy
does.
shit.
No, Brian does.
Brian is gonna look at
Brian
Faye
did.
and just go, "We found an underground tunnel that our friends went down there. Okay, don't freak out."
Oh my god.
You're assuming we survived.
That's what Brian's gonna assume.
The
Brian
only
just
thing
looks
Brian can
over.
do is hope.
Brian just looks
Read it.
over to Faye and says, "Man, I can't believe they're all dead."
Boy, do I have a story for you.
Faye crying in the background.
No, Brian's gonna try to comfort Faye after handing off the lady with exposed spine to the EMTs.
So you guys kind
Pridwin-
of like clamber out of the rubble a little bit. The lady is her spine is no longer exposed thanks to Pridwin.
Oh, that's nice.
Goodness.
You cannot not remember the feeling of touching her spine with your bare hand though, so that's great. That'll sit with you for a while.
Brian is just shuddering.
As you guys clamber out, you see Anna and Judah heaving debris out of the way and helping the EMTs and the woman and the man from earlier out of the remains of the ambulance. You guys are kind of clambering over pieces of building as you do and looking at each other. And you take note of the party members who are currently missing. Pridwin and Lunala, Solon and Xavier, Maze, Katya, Liam, and Minerva are unaccounted for.
Oh, we're all alone. Holy shit.
They said they'd send us their location on the PDA, so we should find them shortly.
Okay.
Speaking of which, do we have signal in this tunnel?
I was just about to flip over to you guys. Pridwin, Maze, Solon. You guys fell for a minute. It was a long tunnel. And you get the sense that whoever made this tunnel probably used ropes to get down, repelled their way. You guys are just falling. Until you aren't. There is a very sudden, painful crack as you impact a surface of water.
That didn't feel good.
And then sink.
Pridwin is going to activate water walking on everyone.
So instead of sinking, you kind of are just laying on the surface of the water at this point after slamming into it.
Is anyone hurt?
I don't feel good. Lunala says, pushing herself up.
Neither do I.
Where are we? Xavier says.
Presumably, our criminal's escape route.
You look around. It is very, very dark in here, but you do appear to be in some large, watery area of a sewer.
Mace. Maze? Oh no. I'm just imagining he's
Mace
laying
just
face
sail.
down in the face down in the water.
In the
That
shit
was what the
water.
crack
Oh yeah.
was.
He's muted for some reason, but I'm enjoying the idea of him just
Okay.
laying face down in the water as more entertaining.
So yeah, he would be face down in the water. What do you ask him?
You didn't. He looks down at you as you pull yourself up, and he says, "You didn't detect any other life signs in the building, did you?"
No, only the ones moving down here.
My guess is they probably have that woman's child.
Well, I'm not gonna let them get away with that. Should we follow their trail if they left any?
Do we want to talk about the fact that this completely breaks from what they've done every single other time?
It's highly unusual.
I think they found what they were looking for.
That or we have a copycat.
True. They didn't follow their usual MOs, but they were looking for something specific, something from those lockboxes. Me and Liam earlier spoke. there's some banks that were in connection with some offshore
I'm back.
accounts. Oh, welcome back. These banks also had connections with one known as the Preacher.
You mentioned something about funding a cult.
If someone named the Preacher doesn't scream crazy rich people cult, I don't know what does.
Oh god.
Isn't it a bit of a coincidence that the other gang that Felix was researching is called the Disciples?
That is interesting.
So it's probably not a copycat group.
More like whatever this is, it's coordinated. Very heavily coordinated. They're looking for something specific, and hopefully the party can figure it out from that woman. She likely helped them find whatever they were looking for in those lockboxes.
She would have seen enough to be helpful.
Assuming we can find our way out of here, Lunala says, looking around. I don't see any tunnels, do you?
Pridwin still has his light on. Does he see anything?
You're in a very large, kind of basin-shaped room, and no, you do not. It is very full with brackish-looking water that you're standing on top of.
Great. Well, I think I know where they went.
Don't tell me.
Down.
I sincerely hope all of you are very well vaccinated.
I am not going in there, Xavier says.
Well,
There's,
I'm the one with legs, so
Yeah, damn it.
There's only one way out.
I could very well just leave you here in this water.
No. Your way sounds a lot better.
Good choice.
Hope you can hold your breath long enough.
I think holding our breaths might be a better option than the usual one.
I
All right.
Lunala looks at you.
Oh, thank God I took swimming classes.
When you're ready, Lunala says, looking down into the dark-colored water underneath of you.
Pridwin will hold up his hands and say, "On three. One,
Three.
2,
3.
3." And Pridwin will dispel the water walking.
And you start to sink into the very torrid water beneath you.
Inky abyss.
You cannot see anything once you get beneath the surface. You can barely see a hand in front of your face.
Pridwin will activate his light, or make sure that his light's still going.
You do so. It doesn't help a whole lot.
He will say in his inner link, "This is the worst experience of my life."
I've experienced.
Life's long. I'm
Yeah.
sure you'll have another one.
That's like
They
saying
only
the
get
Q
worse.
word at work.
Lunala is holding on to you, Pridwin, and you guys look around and try and ascertain some way to go. When Maze, you swim face first into a rope.
Oh, someone caught me in a noose.
There is a rope strung taut underwater.
He's going to. Well, I guess he can't use his inner link. He's gonna wave his hand around, trying to look for everybody.
Pridwin will move over to you. I'm assuming you gesture to the rope.
Yeah.
Pridwin will tap his temple to convey that he's speaking to everyone else. And then he's gonna say through his inner link, Mace found a rope. I think this is how they navigated through this water.
Lunala makes her way over and grabs hold of the rope. Solon?
He's gonna do the same thing.
You guys
use the rope as propulsion.
Yeah, you guys make your way to the rope and use it to pull your way along. And as you progress, you go further and further until finally you have to come up for air. And as you do, breaching the surface, gasping in, ignoring the smell, you find yourself in a tunnel. And about 10 feet to your left, there is a surface, like a walking path that goes along the side of the water with a railing. And you can see that the surface is wet. Clearly somebody has gotten out of the water in this area.
Wonderful.
Alright. Well, I suppose we should thank them for
I
leaving us a nice
suggest
little
we
trail.
take things slowly and quietly. We don't know how close they are.
Very much
Indeed.
so.
Also, Pridwin is going to produce a water wall and walk through it to clean himself.
May as well do the same.
Prestidigitation. You
May's
guys
gonna-
utilize the water wall. Lunala pausing inside of it to try and turn her brown hair back into a more whitish color.
Also, can I check for service on his PDA?
Go ahead.
He's gonna pull that out and check.
You pull it out, shaking the water off of it, and try and activate it. You do not have service.
So Brian recalls about
It's a fancy
hearing
phone.
some.
Being underwater for so long.
So
The
Brian
Academy
recalls hearing
waterproof
something
it.
about the
About what?
sewers. So he's gonna look over to Faye and just go, "It said something about sewers. Should we check the sewers around here?"
Hold on, give me a second. Ash, get off my desk.
Damn, I can't believe Allie died. That's crazy.
I'm imagining Faye is canon saying this to the woman who is, like, standing on top of, like, what she's
Brian-
trying to use.
Brian
That would be
watches this
so
and he just
awesome.
scratches his head and goes, "Is her name Ash? What? I'm trying to
Yes.
talk to you. Hello."
Hello. I don't know. I don't know if it would be better for us to stay or to go, because if we stay, they might need our help with something. But if we don't go, they might need our help down there. So what do you?
I can
what do you
go
think we
check
should
it
do?
out and contact you through our interlink. Because can't we do that? Talk to each
Yeah.
other through interlinks and stuff.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Okay, so Brian will
Okay.
just let her know that, hey, I'm gonna go check out the sewers and see if I can't find them. I'll let you know if I find anything through our interlink.
Okay, I'm gonna stay with this dog lady for a little
Yep.
longer.
You are okay, aren't you? That was a lot of debris back there.
I'm fine.
Okay, that's good. I'm gonna go around the corner so no one sees me going in the sewer like a fucking weirdo.
I will add that the woman has started to repeat the second sentence I sent you over and over
Okay.
now.
All right.
It's her new phrase.
Awesome.
You look
It's
around
great.
for sewer access. You do not readily see sewer access.
What? There's no what? Okay, can I roll perception to maybe find a sewer like a
Great.
drain tunnel, whatever.
Yes.
What's the
You're gonna
thing
flush
called?
yourself?
Like hole that's in the street. What is that called? I don't remember.
A manhole?
Manhole.
Yes.
The
And my
hole?
brain has just been blanking on words so often.
Not the
It's kind of
street
annoying.
hole.
You know, the street hole.
Anyways, Brian's gonna look for a manhole cover. What is it? I don't think a 4 gets me very far, does it?
No.
A 4 doesn't get you far. However,
Okay.
what does get you far is a familiar whistle.
What?
Can Brian tell where the whistle is coming from?
It appears to be coming from an alleyway between 2 buildings next to you.
Brian is gonna walk over to the alleyway.
You walk over to the alleyway, following the sound of the whistle, and you hear it again.
Mildly cautious.
You poke your head around the corner, and you see, down the alleyway, there is a street hole. And there is a head poking out of it, just enough for the eyes to be looking at you.
That's so awesome.
That's not scary at all.
Ninja
Who
Turtle.
are you?
Cowabummer.
You aren't sure who it is, because the second you see them, they disappear down the hole again.
Whoa, wait. Brian's gonna run over to the manhole cover and lift it up.
You run over to the manhole cover and lift it up. There is a ladder leading down into pure darkness.
Oh, this is gonna be awful. Brian's gonna stay to his inner link through his inner link to Faye. I found a manhole cover. It is in between the buildings. Is it the bank and another building?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Brian's gonna tell her where it is and just be like, meet me here, because I don't want to go down this sketchy shit.
Oh, great.
At least by myself.
Faye, you are guided to the street hole.
Okay.
You see Brian standing there, looking down into a very dark hole.
If you want to go in it, just go in it, you nasty.
If I get murdered, tell Mace he's cool. I don't know. Brian's
Alright.
gonna start climbing down the ladder.
She's gonna salute him.
And also tell Pridwin his armor makes him look like a jellyfish, and I respect it.
Absolutely.
He got the
Brian's
point of the
gonna
armor.
slide down the manhole ladder.
Pridwin, you guys have cleaned yourselves off and started walking along this this area down here.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear something ahead of you.
Pridwin's going to look at it.
It's a whistle.
Can you look at sounds? Is that a skill?
I hear a
And now.
whistling.
Well, suppose we could follow it.
Yeah, Pridwin will move towards the noise.
I mean, it is ahead of you on the path. There's not really many other options.
I'm trying to picture this. Is this like an upbeat whistle or like a creepy, sad nursery rhyme whistle? I'm curious.
It's not a tune. It's more of I'm trying to
This grown
your
man
attention.
just figured out how to whistle and is whistling whistle, or
Yeah.
It's more like an attention getter.
Yeah.
oh,
Like
The
the
death whistle
high note
from-
and the low note.
oh,
The death whistle
Does
from
everybody
Puss
know
in
what I'm
Boots.
talking about?
Yeah, I know.
That one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you're hearing.
Yeah.
low key flirty, very intriguing. All right,
Loki just very much.
I wish I could whistle. I can't.
Yeah.
Just whistle.
I can
obviously.
only
Me
kind
either.
of whistle.
I can just barely do it. It's okay.
So you hear the whistling.
I follow.
Mm.
Yeah, Pridwin's just gonna keep heading towards it.
I'm plug walking in that
You-
direction.
Keep heading toward the sound. And as you do, you see light up ahead.
Hmm.
There's a ray of light shining down from above. And a ladder. And as you get closer to the ladder, there is suddenly a body that comes thundering down as Brian, I assume, skips the last few steps and lands.
I'm going
Brian.
to. Okay, so we realized who it was.
Did we?
I don't know. You
Did
just
we
saw a
realize who it
body
was?
tumble down the stairs and
I
land at the bottom
don't
of them.
think we did.
Yeah, never mind. Scratch that.
I'm going to kick him.
The second
I
Colin tries to
am
We
kick
just
him,
start-
to put him on
Just
his
start
butt.
kicking him like the fucking
the second
JoJo
Colin
meme.
tries to kick him,
No,
Brian's
this is
gonna whirlwind step
100%
away.
how I'm imagining this happening. Brian going down the stairs is like, I'm almost at the bottom. Let's go. Lands. Faye is looking down, sees him standing there in like the ray of
Oh,
light,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden, Solon does like a flying kick from the side and crashes into Brian, and they just both disappear out of frame. And then you see
Party just starts
the
kicking
party
the shit out of him.
like sprinting past, and there's just the sounds of him being beaten.
He's gonna yell down the hole.
Whirlwind step away. And he's gonna
Wait, it's
whirlwind step
Brian.
away.
Wait, it's
and
Brian.
shooting
Starts
solar
kicking
rays.
harder.
Where thud, our thud, your thud, leader's thud.
Where is thud? Your thud, my thud.
There's monsters in the sewer.
Faye's like
Brian is gonna
flying upstairs.
whirlwind step away. Brian's gonna whirlwind step away, and then when he like gets away, he's gonna start shooting solar rays at them.
And I don't remember what Brian told me to tell them.
I think Brian is gonna go so crazy he might let off a Category 1 hurricane at them.
In the sewers?
He's like, "What the fuck? Yeet!
Good
Not today, sewer monster!" And I imagine him yelling that as he's like swinging down to cast the hurricane.
Wait.
Nope, too late. He's already like, "Die, sewer monster!"
As you guys are beating the fuck out of each other, you hear the whistle again from somewhere in the distance.
So did Brian not teleport away? What?
I would imagine the hurricane was enough to kind of get you guys off of each other.
Fair enough. Does Brian finally realize who it is?
Yeah, so you guys have kind of realized that you were beating each other.
Guys, what the fuck?
We thought you were a sewer monster.
I thought you were the sewer monster.
I thought you were a robber.
Fuck you. I'm not gonna bake you blueberry muffins later.
That's okay. I don't like blueberries.
Fuck you. God, I knew I couldn't trust you.
That's a
Brian, you
crazy
gonna write that down?
conclusion to make from that
Brian's
sentence.
gonna...
That's a totally rational conclusion that he would make in real life. I just want you guys.
Oh no, I have made that conclusion. Someone told me they didn't like blueberries in there. I literally looked at them and said, "Fuck you." Like actively. Hold on, I have to do a thing at work.
Stranger whose personality is only not liking blueberries.
Hmm.
So, you guys are standing in the sewer?
Everyone, I think the whistling's back.
Someone should tell Faye to come down here, by the way.
Why are you telling everyone else who is standing right next to you to do that?
Hear me out.
Faye's
Why don't I?
still
keep you
crying.
from kicking me?
Hear me
Faye
out.
is still crying
Brian-
above the
Do I have to
manhole.
roll a hit to kick Solon in the butt? Just like kick him into the sewer water?
I'm imagining like
butt off my mind.
Faye is like
Gosh,
crouching by the manhole cover with her arms wrapped around her knees, sobbing, and Warden is sitting there like with her
Yes.
legs in the manhole cover, just like staring down. And then the crazy animal lady is like sitting next to her, stroking her hair.
Absolutely.
Oh Jesus. So do I have to roll to hit to kick Solon into the sewer water?
You would if you were trying to.
Oh, I am trying to. Hold on, give me a second, bro.
All right,
That
just let me
is
cry
a
and have
18.
a crisis up there. It's fine.
A
Does an
crisis.
I mean-
18 hit you, Solon?
A crisis.
I
Yes,
guess
absolutely.
Roll to dodge with
You
advantage
darn.
because I have vigilant.
Yep, with advantage because of
But
vigilant.
he's not facing.
Doesn't
I'm
matter.
vigilant,
That's
though.
how vigilant works.
Fuck vigilant. God damn it.
What did you get?
An 18.
Oh, I'm not rolling a second one. I got a 19.
You!
So what I'm imagining happens is you like fly over to kick Solon, and Solon just sidesteps, and you go into the water.
Laugh.
We're not watching you.
Brian is gonna look over at Maze and Solon and just say, "Mark my words, one of these days, I'm just going to throw."
Fridman's still getting the
dog
stink
shit
out
at
of his
you."
armor.
Are you guys done? Lunala says, standing in the background, still trying to get the white back into her hair.
You know, it'd
We
be
do have
funny
dangerous criminals
if
to
Brian just pretended not to know how to swim, just like, "Help me!"
You want to drown in the shit water? You fucking freak!
Damn, rest in piss.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Brian is gonna get out of the water. Y'all suck.
He ate a devil fruit. He can't swim.
Yeah!
Oh my god.
y'all suck. I want a divorce. A divorce from this group.
Maze is going to pick Brian up by his collar and put him back onto the walkway.
Like a wet fucking dog. Just
It has a squish sound too, I'm sure. Just like,
Oh yeah.
oh
The
god,
boots.
the fucking
Just the squelching noise as he hits the ground.
Brian is immediately at that sound going to gag. Just bleh.
Well, since we all came this way, I'm assuming we met here knowing that this is where the robbers likely went.
I just remembered being told about sewers, and then I heard whistling.
Alright, we heard the whistling too. Let's follow that.
Yeah, saw that. Is Fate?
Is
Brian's gonna look up the
anybody
manhole
gonna tell
cover.
Faze? Nobody's
Oh,
gonna
Brian was
tell
really-
Faze.
Right? I was getting around to that.
You guys are just
Brian's
gonna
gonna
leave.
Brian's gonna look up the manhole cover. Hey, we're okay. I found the others. We're in the sewer. Get down here. Actually, you know what? Brian is gonna whirlwind step, grab her ankle, and just drag her down.
You little bitch.
Alright,
Warden,
let's follow
I thought
Sits
you
there and
died.
sighs.
this. Let's follow this path.
Are you
I don't
gonna
know if
tell
I get
them
too
how
far
much
ahead.
you love them, Brian? Brian told me to tell you guys how much he loved you if he
Well,
died.
no, it was just Maze and Pridwin, really. This
Ah,
is
well,
Maze is cool, and Pridwin's armor kind of makes him look like a jellyfish. If I'm
See
honest.
how it is, Lunala says.
I
He
don't
wrote
know.
you love letters.
Just
He
me.
wrote you love
Brian, don't you
letters.
Brian's gonna point out. Brian, actually, you know what Brian's gonna do? He's just gonna drag her into the shit water with him. Drown with me.
Oh,
Maze is going to grab Brian by the collar again. He's going to say, "We have robbers to catch, and they're going quite far ahead of us."
No.
no more emotional damage,
Let me
please.
fuck with my friend.
You
By
can do
this
that
point,
after we catch the robbers.
Warden has made her way down the ladder, and she looks around and grimaces.
Oh, hi, Warden. I'm just dragging your Meister into the sewer water.
Please don't, she says, and grabs Faye by the collar and picks her up.
Why? Is this just like two parents stopping their kids from fighting? Or just
Yeah,
kicking
pretty
them out of
much.
cars? Stop.
Essentially.
This is bullshit.
You know when you've
I
got
want a rematch.
like two chihuahuas fighting each other, and like the owners are holding them by the harnesses, and they can't do anything about it, but they're still trying to fight each other. It's like Maze
Two
holding
chihuahuas
Brian
that
and
are-
Warden holding Faye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two chihuahuas that are fighting that can also cast Solar Storm and just explode a whole city.
Yeah,
Not a whole city.
so
I'd say like
they're,
maybe like a block.
Yeah.
Like a nuclear bomb, Chihuahua.
So, yeah,
Oh,
you guys
great.
are standing there looking around, and Warden grimaces. I hate to be the one to say this, but I feel like this is a poor decision.
It's a sewer. We had to make poor decisions to get here.
No,
It's the
like,
best out of the poor decisions we could have made.
Liam said on the way over here that the sewers were convoluted and he wouldn't want to wander around in them.
Great.
Good thing we have a
Well,
map.
our targets are. They've marked the place out. We're following a trail that they left behind.
What trail? Warden says, gesturing around.
There was a
Does-
rope that they used when they were escaping to lead them into this tunnel.
They must have only used that.
Yeah, you saw the rope underwater, and that was it. You've seen nothing else.
Oh god,
Just
we're
our
gonna
trail
have to
goes
fucking
cold.
swim, aren't we?
We probably shouldn't go back into the water. No.
I think we
Since
should
it's-
get out, clean ourselves, and regroup. Or
Since
maybe
it's
we
dealing
can go
with
back
water,
down.
since it's water, can Brian get advantage when trying to locate the rope?
That's back where we came from. You don't need to do that.
Oh, okay, I thought more rope.
I wish.
Alright.
I will
Can I roll
channel my
perception
powers
note,
of shit water and find the rope.
Fuck yeah! Can Brian roll perception to see if he notices anything?
I guess.
Yeah.
By the
Nat 20,
power of
motherfuckers.
poop water.
The power of
20.
poop water compelled me to get a nat 20. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
I wish I could tell you that that was a good nat 20 to get, but it's not.
Oh, come
The
on!
nat 20 is ensuring me telling you that you see absolutely nothing. The trail branches off from the point where the ladder comes down in 4 separate directions.
I'm gonna blow.
Okay.
And with the nat
So-
20,
Oh my God.
you do not see markings, you do not see any hints of which direction they might have gone.
Okay, so
Brian's
let's
gonna-
discuss.
Brian's gonna look around this place and just go, I'm gonna blow up these fucking sewers, I swear to God.
You're going to level the city.
Oh.
Okay, so let's discuss for a moment.
Actually,
Robbers went down this way. Our friends, Liam and Katya, are currently not with us, and as well as Minerva.
wait, where the fuck are
Were
you?
they
We were beckoned
Were they
here
not
by
back at
whistling
the-
noise. Oh, wait, what?
were they not back at the He looks over to Brian. Were they not with you?
No, they weren't with me.
You've
No,
gotta
they
be
weren't up
kidding me.
there.
So here's what.
What
I'm
if we
thinking
put
is going-
cameras in the tunnels?
I'm gonna have to start putting a
And-
bell on Liam and Merv to know where they or track them.
Okay. Let's discuss this real fast. So, our friends, 3 of our friends are currently missing. Knowing them, they've likely gone off ahead and found a trail. We have also found somewhat of a trail and we're beckoned here by a whistling noise. My theory is that the whistling noise is someone we know and that was leading us through these tunnels.
I sent you something.
Oh god, okay.
Sorry,
hang on.
continue.
It's from God.
I believe we were beckoned here by that whistling for a reason and by someone we possibly know. They wouldn't beckon, the robbers wouldn't beckon just anybody. And they would have no reason to. They would want to escape us or attack us and murder us. So I believe these tunnels are the path that our friends went down.
Noise.
In which case, I think they expect us to meet up with them somewhere. And so far, this is the best lead we've got.
Okay.
Yippee,
Hang
stinky
on.
poop water.
Fuck you.
Brian's just gonna grin at Faye.
But again, is this something we want to do without some semblance of where we're going?
That's why we figured
Traveling
that part
through
out.
these sewers without a direct path would be fruitless.
Yeah.
And I like fruit, so
Can I check? Can Maze check his PDA and see if any of the party members have turned on their location?
Yeah, go ahead.
He'll do that. And he'll try to check Liam, Katya, and Minerva's location.
I think Brian's too dumb to know how to turn off his location on it. He's like, I don't use technology.
Does he
often,
even know that's a
but
thing?
I don't think he does.
you
He doesn't
can
use it,
track
he's
me.
old-fashioned. That's what I heard, but I don't know how to even turn that off. So you know what, me. What's the worst that could happen? It's Maze. He's just gonna drag us back to the gym again.
Cat, Minerva, and
Get
Liam are alright.
swole.
Exactly. That's not a bad thing either.
Wait, what were we saying, Bridwin?
Cat Minerva and Liam are all right. They just contacted me through our link. Liam's trying to navigate the sewers through the map, but it's not going well.
So we should meet up above ground.
I think we should reconvene. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to track them through the sewers. Our best bet is going to be trying to navigate. We're going to have to track them down by other means.
So wait, if we have that other high priority bank and we know when they might strike, why don't we just wait them out down here?
Because we don't know if they're gonna hit the other bank. As I was trying to say earlier, Lunala says, finishing wringing her hair out, this wasn't like the other hits.
They found what they wanted.
Additionally, they have a potentially still living hostage.
Why would they risk that?
Because maybe they're not a hostage and maybe they're a willing participant.
You think
kid.
the
A
little
8-year-old is
boy.
a willing participant?
I don't think an 8-year-old child
was
is.
the 8-year-old.
Sounds fun. Let's go.
You overheard this
All right.
conversation.
I missed
Hear-
that
hear me out.
conversation.
Hear
Sorry.
me out!
Hear me
The
out.
8-year-old is actually the mastermind of the
that's not- I'm
entire
trying to get us back
group.
on topic.
I mean,
You have discovered my plan.
Children in this campaign, children do be rather fucking evil.
Okay, for real though, Solon, what were you trying to say?
Well, what if the vaults were a diversion and the kid was the target to begin with?
Smart.
It's possible,
Oh, but when I say
not
the kid is involved, I get called crazy.
the kid.
The
Shut
kid's
up,
not
Brian.
involved.
The kid was the heist, Amani says. They went in there to get him. Why?
Wait, didn't they
Well-
say he was?
How many
Because
bank
he-
robbers do you know that go in, open one vault, open one box, and leave?
Okay.
They had plenty of time to open as
The
many
kid
as they
was-
wanted.
The kid was the son of someone important. I'm pretty sure.
The chief of police. isn't it?
Leverage.
No.
Leverage.
It was
No?
one of the tellers, the woman in the vault.
Yes, but their father's the chief of police.
Right, yes. And that fits with their political aims. We already know, or at least have strong reason to believe, that they are trying specifically to attack the police and also
Right.
major members of government.
So therefore, I believe the next target is that specific chief.
Or they're going to force him to do something.
Precisely. so.
Either way, we need to go
Target.
find him.
I believe tracking him and
I'm-
his movements would be the best way to lead us to these
I'm-
robbers.
I'm with that idea.
That
I don't
does-
think we're going to catch up to them in the sewer without knowing where we're going. I think we need to
wasted-
go back up top and regroup and then discuss our next steps.
Agreed.
That also
We
means we're
wasted-
going to need to come forward with the information if we're going to do anything regarding that chief. Which means we're going to need to know who we can trust.
It's a lieutenant,
Well, I think our first-
You hear from above you.
Hello?
Katya is sitting with her legs dangling into the manhole, swinging them back and forth, watching all of you.
Is
Oh, well,
dog
howdy.
still up there?
Yes, she is. She's sitting next to Katya.
Damn it, I have a human fucking pet now. Anyways.
She should come to her
Whoa!
senses.
That was outlawed in the 1860s.
Oh my god.
She brought it back.
Whoa.
She brought it back.
Whoa.
This is getting a little too kinky. I think we should probably dial it back.
All right.
Please, I don't want to get kicked off of the platform again.
Again.
time.
Again?
When
Anyway,
was
too
the
much
first
time was-
time?
Too much time was spent, so they're clearly miles ahead of us currently. We're gonna have to.
I think
Gather
our
our
first
information.
contact is going to be the SWAT officer that brought us here. I think I have a better feeling about him than that previous contact we were using.
Understandable.
Well, I'm
Strikes me
sure
as the
that
trustworthy.
I'm sure we can trust him. However, I'm not entirely sure exactly what the extent he can help us is.
Only one way to find out. Maze is gonna start climbing up the ladder.
So you guys make your way back to the surface and walk around the alley to see the debris of the building. By this point, a lot of first responders are all over the place. What would you guys like to do?
Bridwin's probably going to go try and talk to, it was the guy with the white shirt who was, said that he wanted to talk to us after this was over, right?
The white shirt did tell you that he wanted to talk to you.
So he's gonna see if he can find them?
Roll perception.
Brian is well. If he's doing that, Brian is gonna grab his possum, grab a bottle of wine, and just sniff it so he stops smelling sewer for a second, and then just hold it. Keep smelling it occasionally so he stops smelling sewer.
Okay.
Coffee beans.
That is actually the best way to clear your small palate.
Mhm.
It
Well, he
is.
doesn't
Mhm.
He doesn't have that right now, so he's getting what he's got.
You keep
Suffer.
everything else in, Albert. Why not coffee beans?
Well, because I haven't said I put coffee beans in my possum. Do you understand how
sorry.
hyper the possum would be?
I'm just picturing Albert like with a face of disgust while he's holding him.
Here, have this
Yeah.
bag of espresso beans.
Albert does not like the smell that is covering you.
I am so sorry, my friend. Here, Brian is gonna take him and put him on Faye's head because she didn't get dragged into the water.
Nice. Great. Now I have two fucking. Fuck. Anyways, it's not
They
important.
have a hat. They have a hat.
I rolled a 17 on my perception.
You do not see Lieutenant Graber among the responders.
I suppose that our lieutenant's just going to have to get in contact with us later. Pridwin's probably going to head over to the first responders and just try and make sure everything's shored up with the survivors.
You did say you wanted to talk to witnesses, Linala says, walking beside you.
Yeah, and that one.
Indeed.
And I got that one lady whose spine was out to the EMTs, so we can go probably speak to her.
Yeah.
Because when I handed her off, her back wasn't having any spine showing.
Yeah, may as well
Okay,
go towards
so-
where that lady is.
Of the survivors of the heist, you have... Did I didn't tell you a name for, half
Dog
of them, did
lady?
I?
Yeah, we didn't get names for any of them except for,
We
I'm
have
pretty sure just the boy.
White shirt and SWAT
Yeah.
member.
Those are their legal names.
Yeah.
They're on their birth certificates.
Captain White shirt.
Lieutenant White Shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That has some implications.
Officer SWAT Man.
Uh,
Hold on, I'm making the list of survivors real quick so I don't miss anybody.
It's just incredibly convenient that their names happened to be those and they managed to get those positions.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in terms of survivors, there's the child, there's the little girl, her mother, feral cat lady.
Yep, I've got them all. Okay. So, there are 6 witnesses currently. You have Ash, the dog lady. You have the manager, Mike. You have Blake, the SWAT guy, who was outside. You have Lynn, the teller, who was shot. You have Kita, the teller's daughter, who has the broken arm. And you have Cora, the lieutenant's wife, and the mother of the missing boy.
Cora's definitely going to have the most information for us.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's not the animal lady?
I mean, who knows? If we can get her to actually talk to us, she might know more.
Why did
Hey,
no one
she
take
talked to
therapy
me.
at school?
There is a party member who has been hearing some very interesting things from the animal lady.
You- None of us have enough insight to understand her.
Brian looks
moment.
over to Faye. You spent a lot of time with her. Did she say anything to you?
Yeah,
dog lady, that
okay,
is-
so, and I don't think she's crazy. I think she's just traumatized. So bear with
As
me
we all
here.
are.
This one's a little out there. So,
Oh.
she kept saying that she had to blend in, and that's why she was acting the way she was. And she said, dog, cat, snake, bunny, horse, gorilla, duck, and deer. I think they were all, like, wearing masks, but the thing she kept saying over and over was the boy with the deer. The boy with the deer. So, I'm thinking that either the person who's running everything had this deer mask, and he's the one who took the kid.
It's possible.
Or she really likes those animals, but I'm gonna go with the first one.
You know, that is fair considering
Given-
she was acting like that.
Given the reaction that all of them had to the use of the word animal, I think that our targets may have a motif. Although it's also certainly possible that they may not even be.
It's a bunch of animal people.
Although that would raise the question, what would Liam's brother be doing with a bunch of beast folk?
Robbing
Weird
things.
shit. Weird shit.
Beast folk would have a really hard time blending in around here, Judah adds.
Hence why they use the sewers.
Precisely. Well,
Does this not remind anybody of The Secret Life of Pets for like one moment? Like the ones that lived in the sewers? Anybody?
the other thing,
Christ.
another very important detail, they came in and convinced people that they were members of the academy,
Oh.
That could
which
be
leads
Liam's
me to
brother,
believe that
though.
they must be weapons and meisters. Or at least similar enough.
Hmm.
Even in organized groups, ordinary humans aren't usually capable of all of this.
I think we need
Precisely.
to question some of the witnesses. Maybe they did something in the days leading up to this that makes sense.
I'll go speak with the lady we found in the vault, if anyone wants to join me.
Okay.
I need to make sure that the rest of them are in good condition, so I'll probably speak to the one who's the most wounded currently.
The one who is most wounded currently is gonna be Mike, the manager.
Yeah, the one who
Mike,
got
Mike,
stabbed
Mike.
57 billion times.
Is his
Mike
last
and
name
Ike?
Oxlong?
So please,
No!
Please tell me he has a friend named Ike who's just there with him now. He's like, Mike, are you okay?
Mike and Ike.
Yeah. That's his last name. His last name's Ike.
God.
Secret owner of the Mike and Ike brand. Worked as a bank manager.
Good lord.
Next, we'll run into Ben and Jerry.
So what is happening?
No.
No, next we're on to the Waffle House again.
Good lord. Pridwin's going to talk to Mike.
And Maze is gonna talk to Cora.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll start with Maze.
Okay. He will walk up to where she is in the.
Solon is going to observe the crowd that's probably gathered, just for anyone that might be looking too intently at things.
Roll
Brian's also
perception on
gonna
that.
stand by Solon. Brian's also gonna join Solon and watching the crowd.
Criminals do
nat
like
1.
to return to the scene of the crime.
Hold that nat 20
I
for a
rolled a
minute.
2.
You're gonna flex for the
Maze,
crowd.
you approach looking for Cora, and the EMTs have triaged all the patients out among the debris. They've kind of got everybody laid out so they can figure out what's going on, and Cora is at the edge being attended to. She doesn't look great, but she's stable.
Hi, I'm Mazakine. If you're in the condition to speak, I would like to ask you some questions.
She is... She opens her mouth to speak and then closes it and nods.
Are you sure? If you would like, I can grant you a notebook and you can write down your answers.
She's holding the side of her head. You can see that there's a lot of bruising to her face.
Alright. Well, I suppose the first thing I should ask is, did you happen to see the faces of those who had held you hostage?
She draws in a breath and speaks, her voice raspy and scratchy, like somebody's damaged her throat. Animals.
Animals? Are you saying they looked like animals?
Masks.
He's gonna begin writing down. One sec. Alright. Animal masks. They did not show their faces. Were there any other distinctive features? Clothing?
Suits and ties.
Payday gang.
Yeah, no, I was about to say.
No, it's fucking Hotline Miami. They got the fucking animal masks.
I
Yeah.
low-key did kind of base them off of fucking Hotline
I kind of
Miami.
figured it.
Hotline.
Holy
The
shit.
viscera
Well, see,
animals.
you want to know the funny thing
Do
is,
you
Payday
like
had a
hurting
crossover
people?
with Hotline.
Yeah, they've got the jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next question: did the perpetrators show any signs of supernatural phenomena, abilities that deemed unnatural to regular, ordinary people?
She squints at you.
Magic.
They had weapons.
Weapons. Did these weapons perform any specific magical effects? And if so, what kind?
She pauses, trying to think, wincing through the pain, swimming in and out of consciousness. The whip. Was like A plant. With thorns.
And
Hmm.
what of the others?
A knife. It had ice on it. The others had guns.
Did these guns seem ordinary?
I don't know. A gun is a gun when it's pointed at you.
All right. Next question. Do you know exactly what they were after? They held you hostage down there and clearly for a specific purpose. They were searching for something. Did they find it?
You see tears welling up in her eyes.
Was their goal the boy?
She nods.
All right. Now, one. Let's see, they were wearing masks. I presume they were hooded as well.
She moves a hand around her head in a gesture.
Is she saying that they were hooded?
No.
I think, if
Okay.
I'm allowed to metagame, I think that she's saying that the masks covered their whole heads.
Okay. All right. Could you spot anything beneath the mask, specifically hair color?
She thinks for a moment. The tattoo.
Tattoo?
The deer. The deer had a tattoo. A geometric.
And did you see anyone with... Did you spot any white hair at all?
She looks confused.
If you would indulge me.
I couldn't tell.
All right. Final question. Did they speak at all? And if so, what did they say? From what you can remember.
Her eyes close tight. They called each other by nicknames. They were laughing. They didn't talk much. They knew what they were doing.
All right. What else could I ask?
There's a hand on your shoulder suddenly. I think she's had enough.
He looks.
It's an EMT.
Agreed. I agree. Here. What's your name for reference?
Are you asking this to the EMT?
The woman. He doesn't know her name.
Cora.
All right. He's gonna write down on another page his name and contact info, and he's gonna hand it to her, and he'll say, "If you remember anything else or see anything, please contact here."
She grabs your wrist.
My husband. He's gonna kill me.
What?
I let them take his son.
You'll be safe. I'll make sure of it.
She lets go of you.
All right. I will leave you all to do your work, and he will walk back to the party.
Ferdwin, you are approaching Mike, who is definitely in the worst condition of all of them.
Is there... Are you feeling in a condition to have a conversation, sir?
I can try.
Perdwin will sit down next to him and say, "Is there, anything I can do for you?"
Not unless you can make all the memories go away.
Unfortunately, that's the one kind of pain I can't heal.
He nods a bit.
We need to understand what happened.
They came out of the back room. I don't know how they got behind me. They just started shooting. People were screaming and running everywhere. And they just kept laughing and tearing them apart. Cora tried to take Marone down into the vaults to try and hide him. They didn't like that.
Did they make any demands of anyone, or did they just immediately start attacking?
The one in the duck mask. He walked in and said, "This is a robbery. Your cooperation isn't necessary." And then he shot the person closest to him. I kinda stopped paying attention after that.
I see. The, did you notice any specific characteristics about the people in these masks? Was there any indication, any markings, any exposed skin?
Oh, they were all wearing suits and gloves. They all had these creepy masks on. And they always referred to each other in code names of the masks they were wearing.
And how many of them were there?
He closes his eyes tight. I think 6, 8 of them, maybe. But there could have been more because they were carrying weapons. I remember originally I've seen those weapons before.
The firearms they were using, or the...
Oh, the dagger. A couple days ago, somebody came in, said they were an academy
Sorry,
student.
take a picture of her. I meant to have the flash off.
Said they wanted to open an account. That a fellow academy student recommended us to them.
And you said you recognized the dagger. Were they carrying the dagger?
Holstered.
I see. Can you describe the individual?
It was a girl. She was wearing a suit. She had on sunglasses. I didn't think much of it at the time. You know, academy students always look so... He bites his tongue. Sorry.
Strange. I understand. It's not an insult. Could you describe her features at all?
Long dark hair, pulled back. White, average. You couldn't pick her out of a crowd. The one with the dagger today, she was wearing a snake mask.
I see. The
Nick.
You mentioned that one of them called out that it was a robbery and then started attacking.
Yeah.
Were any of the other ones talking or trying to make demands, or were they all just
No,
in a frenzy?
it's like they wanted to cause a scene. The couple of them out in the lobby, they were just tearing through people. They didn't care who it was. They didn't seem to choose specifically. They were just... He closes his eyes tight and looks away.
It's alright. You don't have to go into further detail if you don't want to.
I tried to hide Lynn and Kita. I told them to stay under the desk. They didn't like that I was trying to hide them. The one kid, He just kept stabbing me. Over and over. His hands shouldn't have been sharp like that.
Which one was it?
It was, no, that's not right. He shakes his head. It's funny, I can't remember his face.
Did you see his face, or was he masked?
It's all blurry. The man starts to drop back as he says this.
Adrenaline can make it difficult to make things out. It's all right. You've given me a lot of very helpful information. You need rest.
The EMT nods to you and goes back to attending to him. Solon,
Yes,
you critted?
I did.
You notice something very interesting as you're scanning the crowd. You see a priest.
A priest?
White collar, black robes. He's standing amongst the other onlookers, his eyes scanning the survivors. He makes note that you're looking at him, makes eye contact with you, and then turns around and walks away.
Hmm.
Brian is right by Solon. Does he see what Solon's looking at?
You rolled a 2, so no.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna like slowly make my way to where he was to see if I can see where he's going.
Solon, where you going?
There was a priest. But he-
Brian's gonna follow.
Roll me. Actually, you know what? You have a crit. I won't make you roll again. As you go to
Okay.
where he was standing, you smell something.
I smell something?
You do. It catches you off guard because you get the strongest smell of marijuana.
Okay.
Shit.
420. What you smoking?
I really don't know what to do with this information.
Also,
Gotta do as
going
top
back
roll.
to where you were, he has blended into the crowd of onlookers because there are onlookers at this point.
So I've lost him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sir, I'm gonna have to search your vehicle.
Can't believe we've got a priest smoking the devil's cabbage.
I didn't
Yeah,
say he was
baby.
smoking it. I just said you smelled it.
He's dealing.
Oh my god.
Ugh. I hate the smell of marijuana.
It's pretty gross.
The Kansas City
very
Kiefer
gross.
dealer.
The Kansas City Kiefer.
There's a cat in the parking lot. What the cat doing?
Well, I'm gonna keep that information in my head for now.
Does he got that moon
Since
grass?
Brian is close to Solon, does he smell it?
Yeah.
Oh god, what the fuck is that smell?
There-
Brian doesn't say this loudly, just kind of quietly says it and plugs his nose.
Of all the people, I would think you would recognize what that smelled like.
I
Yeah.
lived on a ship for my whole life. What do you want from
Do
me?
you know
Weed is
how
the only
much
thing-
weed
Oh.
pirates smoked, dude?
No, I do not.
Dude,
A lot.
Blackbeard literally just kept fucking like hemp ropes burning in his beard.
Oh, well, never the fuck mind. Brian is very familiar with this smell, and he's like, that takes me back.
I can't.
The
I
good old
can't.
days.
I
Oh,
can't wait till
God.
the party visits Weed, California. Actual city, by the way.
Good
Oh my
lord,
God.
Gerda.
That's awesome.
I've been there. I've been there.
We should
It's
find
great.
a plant monster if we ever go there.
We just
Yeah.
fight a
An escape
giant
of a
weed
giant
monster.
fucking weed flower, yeah.
It's the weed. It's the weed monster from Scary Movie.
Oh my god.
Are we just canonically having this conversation? Is this the thing?
The cannabis colossus.
I have a shirt. I visited Weed. Oh, my dad visited it too, and he got me a shirt that says University of Weed.
Holy shit.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, continue.
So yeah, was there anything anybody else wanted to do now that you guys are questioning witnesses and observing the crowd?
Pridwin's going to be, he's going to go over what he, learned. I'm not gonna verbally do it because everybody heard it, but
Yeah.
just making sure everybody knows.
Yeah, Maze will hand over the information that he learned, that he noted down, and he'll tell everyone. He says, "I believe our friend Cora is likely in danger, based on the political targeting of this group and the child. I think that the boy's father may try to bring harm upon Cora. I believe one of us should keep station at the hospital to make sure she's safe."
You think the lieutenant, or yeah, the lieutenant is going to try and harm her?
I believe that may such be the case. Though probably
could.
not personally. These corrupt individuals tend to have someone else do the dirty work.
Hmm.
Why?
All she said was that she let his son get into harm's way. No other information, but I believe I should station myself with her just in case.
She's traumatized, Lunala says. Of course
I'm-
she's gonna
that-
think that.
I'm
Who said that the
fairly
man would-
certain. It sounds like guilt to me, not genuine fear of harm.
She seemed genuinely afraid. Grabbed my wrist, said that he would kill her.
I'll go with Maze to the hospital just in case.
Even if
It's-
it's nothing, it's good for peace of mind of the victim.
It's possible she may still be in danger from other sources, even if the lieutenant himself isn't a threat. So I do think keeping an eye on her is a good idea, nonetheless.
Then I suppose me and Faye will keep watch over her, and you can keep into contact with me if any of the party makes other plans.
You really want to split the party now? Warden says. I thought we were
before
supposed
I
to be
know.
sticking together.
One of us can just go with her and make sure nothing happens.
We don't know where we need to go right now, which means, unfortunately, our trail's gone cold.
I say, waiting for further developments is the best thing, the best path to take.
Yeah.
Not necessarily waiting. These people have had other locations that they've hit. Like, we
Did
wanted to try and
Fredwin-
investigate.
Did Fredwin share the information he got from Mike?
Yes, he would have
Yeah.
given all of the details.
Brian's gonna say, I'm gonna go with Mike and see if he can remember anything, because he said something about one of the people who was stabbing him was hazy. I'm gonna see if anything jogs his memory eventually, and just make sure he's, okay and nothing happens to him.
I have my suspicions about that.
What are your
It's Well, we don't really know anything about what Fuse is capable of in terms of abilities. The fact that he can't even tell if the individual was wearing a mask or not concerns me.
That is concerning.
You
And
think
also,
Fuse is the one who stabbed him, Minerva says.
the fact that they attacked him themselves with their own bare hands, the fact that they were as effective as they were, suggests to me that they were a weapon. And it's possible that there's another solo weapon in their group, but as far
So then,
as
if he wasn't wearing a mask, then shouldn't someone go with him still, just because his life might be in danger from this person coming back? Like, if they find out he's alive, they might come try to kill him again.
they've left survivors before.
Hmm.
And they did
Yeah,
so
but
on
none
Many
of them have
times.
ever maybe seen their face.
No, if they were intentionally not wearing a mask, if they were able to obscure it with some sort of power, they wouldn't be concerned. This is likely something they've done many times, but we're gonna have to talk to other survivors to find that out.
Okay.
I definitely think Cora is potentially at risk. I think if they wanted to kill her, they would have, but, well, they did leave. They left her as a trap. They likely expected her to wind up dead either way, which means that they might see her as a loose end. The others, on the other hand, I'm not so convinced that they would be at risk.
Oh, and
So,
what of the animal lady? What did we learn?
did she say anything else?
No, that's all she said.
All right.
I suppose we should perhaps try and keep something of an eye on her, just in case her condition improves and she's more capable of communicating.
Should I ask her if she would like me to be her guardian for now? Just so the hospital will actually allow me to stay.
I suppose if you could watch over the people in the hospital, that would be a good idea. As for the rest of us, I think we should probably follow up with that investigation. The one we were planning on doing before this happened.
We're all in agreement then. I'll go speak with I'll speak with the EMTs, see if I can work anything out about making sure she's safe.
Very well.
Okay, so am I going with Maze or am I going with everybody else? I am
Good question.
confused.
Yeah, I'm
I
also curious on what's happening right now.
Yeah, I don't. Point.
Maze is
So-
going to the hospital.
to talk about plans above game, I'm thinking. So the problem is we have no clue where we need to go. In terms of actually finding this group, the trail in the sewer has gone cold.
I think our next step is following up with the lieutenant.
Yeah.
Seeing if we can talk to a psychologist about the animal lady.
Mhm.
And see where that gets us.
Yeah, I think that's probably. I think right now we're just gonna have to follow up on leads.
Yeah.
I think if we're gonna get a trail, we're gonna have to either get some new information from Animal Lady, or we're gonna have to find something from one of the other crime scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, they blew the shit out of this one, so they clearly didn't want to leave any evidence here. But it sounds like the other ones, they weren't as clean
Thorough.
about.
We almost got crushed by debris getting out of here, Faye and I did. That was fun.
First time.
First time.
Actually, I think yes for Brian. This would be the first time he's almost been crushed
Yeah.
for something.
Yeah.
True.
Because I don't even think he was in danger of that when the tree exploded back in Russia.
Amazing Pridwin had a cave fall on their heads.
Yeah,
That's fun.
that was fun.
Mhm.
So,
It doesn't look
from
great
what I'm
for me.
understanding, you guys are splitting the party.
Kinda, yeah. If that's something that you think we would be allowed to do, because I don't want to split the party if it makes things hard on the DM.
I will allow you guys to split the party if that's what you want to do.
All right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Maze will ride with the ambulance.
But it's also 10, so this would be a decent
Yeah, I
place to
think-
call it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think this is
Yeah.
definitely the best
I think-
place to.
Those people who are going to the hospital go to the hospital, and the rest of us go back to the apartment and lay out
Follow
next
up.
steps.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
first Brian's gonna run over to Faye, grab Albert off her head, and shove it back in his coat. I possum.
Poor Albert.
This is my possum. It was made for me.
This is my possum. It was specifically made for me. You can say hi, but you can't have it. Mine.
Hey.
I need to find some coffee beans to get this smell out of my fucking nose. Jesus.
So, if there's nothing else you guys need to do, I will go ahead and call it here.
All right.
Okay.
Good game, everyone.
Dear God.
Yeah.
I can take recap next time